Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. American Comics. Phil Money Can Become Infinitely Stronger. Chapter 21. Above, Ross, who was also checking the situation, froze. What's the situation? Why is there a monster? Who can tell me who that guy is? Because they were on the helicopter, Ross and the others had no idea that the new monster was Shu Hong, the new super rich. General Ross, I have some bad news for you. At this moment, the voice of the flight attendant sounded. What's up? The people from ABC and CBS are coming this way, and they're coming soon. When Ross heard this, his face became even uglier. Bronski's sudden loss of control was unexpected, and what made him even more unexpected was that things would become so troublesome. It has been too late to finish, and depending on the situation, the scope of the battlefield will become wider and wider. This also means that he has to bear more responsibilities. Once the situation here was broadcast live, the public finally learned that this incident was caused by him. It is not possible to retire directly, but the rights in his hands will definitely be wiped out, and the super soldier plan he has been working on before will inevitably be forced to stop. This is not good news for him. But he has no right to block the entry of TV reporters. Those guys came by helicopter. He couldn't let his men turn around and blow them down. And Shu Hong also noticed the helicopters of the two major TV stations coming in the distance. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly. Everything was in his plan. The audience has already arrived, and the next step is to quickly resolve the battle and show the world their strength. Thinking of this, he looked at Hulk and the Abomination. The former was 30 meters away from him, looking at him with curiosity in his eyes. And the Abomination was staring at Tony Stark, who was walking towards the outside of the battlefield. His eyes were full of killing intent and cruelty. Unlike Bruce Banner, the Hulk's dominant consciousness. After Bronski became an Abomination, the subjective consciousness of the Abomination was controlled by Bronski, but because of his personality, it became even crazier. He knew very well that it was Tony Stark who had just attacked him. Naturally, he would not let off those who attacked him. But Shu Hong didn't give him this chance at all. Shu Hong's figure flashed, and in the next second, he appeared directly in front of Abomination. Because of the size difference, Shu Hong's palm is bigger than Abomination's head. It was very easy to grab the latter's head. Because everything happened so fast, the latter didn't react at all. When he came back to his senses, his head had been grabbed by Shu Hong, and he punched the ground. Hush! Shu Hong seemed to be mopping the floor with his disgusting head. Directly dragged the solid concrete floor out of a long and thick gully. If you look closely, you can see green blood in the ravine. Wait until Shu Hong throws the Abomination out of his hand. The guy's head is missing a corner. In terms of defense, the Abomination is worse than the Green Titan. This brutal scene directly made the people around look stupid. But that's not all. Shu Hong slammed the hatred that hadn't recovered to the sky. In the next second, he jumped out as well. Because of the great strength, the ground was directly counter-shocked out of a deep pit. After a while, the Abomination fell from the sky and smashed a deep hole in the ground. Shu Hong's figure followed closely behind. Boom! There was a loud bang. There was a violent tremor within a radius of hundreds of meters. The deep pit with a radius of 3 or 4 meters instantly spread into a huge pit with a radius of more than 10 meters and a depth of 7 or 8 meters. And in the center of the giant crater was the tall figure of Shu Hong. His huge amounts of feet are stepping on the latter's chest at the moment. If you look closely, you can see that the chest of hatred has completely collapsed. His head was also raised, his pupils were dilated, and he looked as if he was dead. This scene caught everyone's attention. It also counts everyone who is watching the TV broadcast live. Among other things, just the big pit with a radius of more than 10 meters cannot be blasted out without using strategic weapons. Is that really the power a person can possess? What kind of monster can possess such power? Hulk not far away also saw this scene. When Shu Hong dragged the disgusting corpse out of the deep pit, glanced at Hulk, the latter chose to turn around and run away without any hesitation. A few jumps and it's gone. Banner. Betty on the plane became worried when she saw this scene. Ross, on the other hand, was relieved. Trouble, finally solved. As for Banner, Betty was looking for him, and he believed that Bruce Banner would come to him. Down the plane, Ross gave the order to the flight crew. But General, there is another monster down there. Do you think we'd be useful on the plane if he's going to do us a disservice? Ross asked coldly. The flight crew immediately stopped talking nonsense. Control the helicopter to start landing. Reporters from ABC and CBS television also let the flight crew begin to descend. Definitely their cameras never left Shu Hong from the beginning to the end. Not far away, Tony Stark looked at this scene, a little helpless. He wanted to leave right now, but the flight system was damaged. Although the power system was normal, he was wearing the Mark III armor, which was too eye-catching, and it was impossible to leave quietly. In this situation, sneaking away as Joker, admitting that he is a loser. Tony Stark wouldn't admit he was a loser. Definitely, the shock that Shu Hong brought to him was also quite a lot. From Shu Hong's shot to the end of the battle, there was not even half a minute. Although there was not much time, the shock that Shu Hong's formidable combat power brought to him was nothing less than a little bit. With that destructive power, he had no doubt that Shu Hong could easily crush him into a pile of scrap iron. This also made him determined, if not necessary, he would never get too close to Shu Hong. Who knew that guy was uncontrollable? Once out of control, the destructive power would definitely be a disaster. After seeing the TV station's plane also landed, Shu Hong controlled his emotions and began to recover. The body that was originally more than 3 meters high and under great pressure shrank rapidly. After a while, it will change to its normal form. But even in his normal form, he has enviably muscular bodies. Only then did the people from the TV station discover that the other monster who defeated the green monster just now was actually the boss of miracle medicine, Shu Hong. This is big news, and it's breaking news. Countless people in the United States who gathered in front of the TV to watch the live broadcast all had a look of shock on their faces. Several reporters, even after seeing Shu Hong's face clearly. Immediately, he leaned towards Shu Hong. Originally, they had to worry about whether the man would suddenly turn into a monster. But after seeing that the monster was Shu Hong, the new super rich, all worries were gone. After all, Shu Hong can be regarded as a public figure no matter what, and he is also a super rich man. For such a capable person, they would feel that Shu Hong would not easily lose control. And this is first-hand information. If you don't go up for an interview, will you give the opportunity to others? Hi, Mr. Shu, I'm Lucy, a reporter from ABC TV, I wonder if I can interview you. Hello, Mr. Shu, I'm Kyle, a reporter from CBS TV station. Can I interview you about what happened just now? Two beautiful female reporters ran up to Shu Hong and handed out the microphone to Shu Hong. Behind them is a photographer with a video camera. At the moment, cameramen from 2 TV stations are focusing on Shu Hong. Definitely yes. Shu Hong spread his hands and showed a warm smile. Combined with his already handsome face, this smile is easy to give people a good impression. At least because of Shu Hong's smile, everyone at the scene relaxed their tense hearts a lot. As a super rich man, why did you appear in this place at this time, and you just turned into a titan more than 3 meters tall? Why can you become so tall? Are you the legendary Titan family? ABC TV reporter Lucy was the first to ask. I'm here because I happen to be walking the streets of Manhattan. Naturally, Shu Hong would not say that he appeared here on purpose. As for why I can become so huge, it's not because I'm a Titan. Speaking of which, this is a superhuman project of our miracle medicine company. I have no comment for the rest. Then why did you choose to make a move? Although your performance just now was very strong, aren't you afraid of any accidents? As someone who lives in the United States, I want the United States to be better and better. In this situation, with ability, I will not choose to stand by. The greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. Shu Hong looked at the camera, sonorous and forceful. To be honest, if Shu Hong hadn't bought an actor skill from the system in advance, Shu Hong would have laughed when he said this. Fortunately, the actor is worthy of being the actor. Even if Shu Hong said something, he felt a little disgusted, but he still kept a smile on his face, and he didn't make any mistakes. The greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. Not far away, the corner of Tony's mouth twitched slightly. He can be sure that that guy Shu Hong did it on purpose. He even suspected that Shu Hong appeared here for a purpose. But it is undeniable that Shu Hong saved his life. If it wasn't for Shu Hong's appearance, he might not have been able to escape from those two monsters with his flight system damaged. Tony. In the distance, a car drove up, and soon arrived in front of Tony Stark. Then a figure walked down. It was none other than Tony's bodyguard, Happy. He's here to pick him up. After all, the flight system of his armor was broken, and he couldn't fly back, so he needed someone to pick him up. You look a bit embarrassed. Looking at Tony, whose armor was not lightly damaged, Happy said. Tony's face turned black, and it was really the pot that was not opened and which pot was lifted. However, he and Happy are both boss and subordinate, as well as friends. So I didn't care about Happy's words. He directly opened the car door and sat on it. Hurry up and drive, I don't want to stay here for a moment. Now those reporters are pestering Shu Hong. But before long, those people will definitely come to pester him. He just took advantage of this opportunity and quickly slipped away. But his plan didn't work out. Because the reporter came very quickly. Mr. Stark, I'm a reporter from ABC TV, can I interview you? You just. Shu Hong looked at this scene and didn't say much. After the bodyguards who came to pick him up separated the reporters. He got into the car that came to pick him up. Then get out of here. As for the mess here, what happened here was not created by him, so naturally he didn't need to finish it. Whoever provoked it will clean it up. Shield. Nick Fury watched Shu Hong's interview on TV, crossed his legs, put one hand under his chin, and supported his head, as if he was thinking about something. The Avengers plan, he had it a long time ago. But there has been no suitable candidate. And as Tony Stark created the Mark armor, Nick Fury's idea burst out again. After all, as a superhero organization, the people inside must be able to do it. Although Hawkeye and Black Widow under him are good, they are just ordinary people after all, and Hawkeye's combat power is also very limited. Tony is different. With the Mark armor, he is very powerful in combat. So Tony Stark also became his first choice for the Avengers. But so far, he hasn't started contacting Tony Stark. Because of the other party's too flamboyant personality, he felt that Tony was not steady enough, and he was not suitable to join Avengers now. Not to mention being the leader of the Avengers. It can only be said that Tony is his tentative first target candidate. And recruiting Tony Stark was not an easy task. Tony Stark's identity is unusual. He is not only a genius scientist, but also a super rich man. With such an identity, Nick Fury doesn't have much leverage in his hands to persuade Tony Stark to join the Avengers. Unless Tony has his own reasons. Turns out he hadn't even made an offer to Tony Stark yet. Now there is another Shu Hong. There are some similarities between Shu Hong and Tony Stark. Both of them are geniuses, at least Shu Hong is considered a genius in medicine. Both are rich. Miracle Medicine's first month's revenue report has come out, and its future revenue will only be more terrifying. Therefore, Shu Hong's wealth will soon accumulate, and reach a level that most people can't imagine. And such people are not easy to recruit. Finally, there is Shu Hong's strength. From the video, one can preliminarily judge how terrifying Shu Hong's destructive power is. Whether it's strength, defense, or speed, Shu Hong has reached an inhuman level. Even if Captain Marvel is famous, Nick Fury doesn't think Captain Marvel will definitely beat Shu Hong. Finally, there is the identity of Shu Hong. The other party is not only Asian, but also not from the United States. It is difficult to attract each other. As for Tony Stark, he had some chips in his hand, although not much. But for Shu Hong, he really doesn't have any bargaining chips in his hands to attract the opponent. Don't look at what Shu Hong said on live TV that, the greater the ability, the greater the responsibility, you will think that Shu Hong is a good person. Nick Fury prefers to believe that Shu Hong is creating a character. Even Shu Hong's appearance in Manhattan at this point in time, in his opinion, seemed to be part of Shu Hong's plan. As for the purpose, it is naturally to warn a group of people who beat him. After Miracle Medicine's first month's revenue report came out, there are not a few people who beat Miracle Pharmaceuticals. Even he, Nick Fury, had considered whether to scrape some oil from Miracle Medicine before. Money touches people's hearts. Miracle Pharmaceuticals said that it is a cash cow and even said that it is low, that is a complete robbery of money. In the face of huge amounts of wealth, it is difficult for anyone not to be tempted. And Shu Hong chose to expose his own powerful strength at this point in time, and the meaning of the warning was too obvious. This guy really takes his chances. Nick Fury turned off the TV and sat up straight. Ross has been working on super soldiers behind his back, and he knows it. He also knew about the accident caused by Bruce Banner before. He's been secretly paying attention, because he's been waiting for Ross to be successful and trying to figure out how to get a piece of it. Too bad Ross didn't make it. In other words, he was only half successful. Hatred is a failure, only half the battle. No matter how powerful a weapon is, if it cannot be controlled, releasing such a weapon is tantamount to committing suicide. As a weapon, abominations fail, so Ross is only halfway there. But in the end, he picked up the cheap one and became Shu Hong instead. I have to say that this person's ability to seize opportunities is really amazing. At the same time, he also understood why none of the agents he sent came back. It was probably handled by Shu Hong. JARVIS is just an elementary-level super artificial intelligence. Before Tony gave him an upgrade, he actually had a lot of back doors. As long as Nick Fury thinks about it, it is not difficult to hack into the database of JARVIS. But he never hacked into the database of Shu Hong's company. What does this mean? This shows that Shu Hong controls a more powerful super artificial intelligence. After thinking for a long time, Nick Fury decided not to contact Shu Hong for the time being. That guy is a smart guy. And smart people mean that it is difficult to control, especially Shu Hong's status is not ordinary. Just don't bother yourself. It's Tony's side, it's time to speed up and get him. However, the chips he can take out are not at their highest value yet, which is not good news for Nick Fury. The other side, Shu Hong has also returned to his luxurious villa. And with him came Mindy. I didn't expect you to be so powerful, and that monster died in your hands like that. Shu Hong shook his head. I didn't kill him. Shu Hong didn't kill Abomination. Don't look at the Abomination as silent, in fact, that guy is not dead at all. Even for Shu Hong now, it is not that simple to completely kill the Abomination. At least it takes some work. So Shu Hong didn't kill him. With the resilience of hatred, give him half a day, and he can almost recover. As for why he didn't kill the Abomination directly, it was naturally because it was too time-consuming. It was not in line with his original intention. What he wants is to defeat the Abomination with a crushing posture. Not to kill him. In the original film, the Hulk also failed to take down the Abomination. Just knocked out the hate. Naturally, Shu Hong would not go to any lengths to kill the Abomination. As for whether that guy will come to him for revenge. This time he was brought back, so he can escape first. When this guy goes back this time, he can only be reduced to a guinea pig. Even if Ross steps down because of this incident, the person who takes over his work will not just give up the hatred. After all, even if his weapon is a failure, his powerful strength cannot be ignored. Those high and powerful people will not give up hating this semi-finished product so easily and treat him as garbage. But none of this has anything to do with Shu Hong. Because his purpose has been achieved. Then he can make good money. As long as those people have no problem with their brains, they shouldn't come to provoke him anymore. But I achieved my goal. By the way, I already have news about your father, but his condition is not very good now. The plot of Kick-Ass has not yet begun. But some time ago, Mindy's father, Damon Macred, went out at the invitation of a friend. I haven't come back yet, and no one answered the phone. Mindy was a little worried about her father, so she asked Shu Hong to help her find out where her father is now. Where is he now? He was caught by a gang of drug dealers and he's not doing well. If no one saves him, I don't think you will see him in the future. When Mindy heard this, his expression changed immediately. Where is he now? I'm going to save him. Shu Hong handed him an earphone. Wear it on your ears, and Michael will assist you. Also, I have prepared a gift for you in the garage. I think you will like it. Mindy didn't hesitate. Knowing that her father was in danger at this time, she naturally wouldn't waste time. As for begging Shu Hong to save her father, she felt it was unnecessary. Because now she is also very strong. Come to the garage. Soon, Mindy saw the gift that Shu Hong said. A cool black motorcycle looks a bit like Batman's motorcycle chariot, full of sci-fi colors. Mindy smiled. She loved the gift. And now, she really needed this gift from Shu Hong very much. The motorcycle key is on the car. Mingdi rode directly on it, and drove away from Shu Hong's villa. Shu Hong is not worried about Mindy's safety. I also believe that she can save my father. Because Shu Hong had already changed her into better equipment. He is wearing a high-level nano-body defense suit, which is enough to resist the rocket attack head-on without any damage. Even the head is within the scope of protection. What he holds in his hand is a powerful infinite bullet firearm. A sub-adminium butterfly knife and a sub-adminium katana. Plus a super soldier serum. Even if the current Mindy is thrown into the Avengers, her combat power is at least in the upper middle position, and it is really nothing to her now to deal with a group of ordinary drug dealers. These things are very cheap compared to those super abilities. It didn't cost Shu Hong much at all. Definitely, Shu Hong is so generous to Super Killer because he thinks Super Killer and Big Daddy are good talents. He decided to keep the father and daughter under his command. For example, it is used to deal with gold. His main task now is to make money. He doesn't have time to deal with people like Jinbing, but because of his current status, it's too cheap to end in person. It is most appropriate to leave this kind of thing to Super Killer's father and daughter. Facts have proved that Shu Hong's judgment is correct. In less than an hour and a half, Shu Hong received a message from Michael. Mindy has successfully taken down the Russian Ross gang who kidnapped Big Daddy. More than 60 gang members, nearly half of them were armed, all died at Mindy's knife and gunpoint. Not a single one was alive. Now, they are on their way back. Half an hour later, Shu Hong met Mindy and her father, Damon. Damon was actually surprised. He didn't expect that Mindy would meet a new super rich man after he left for a few days. Especially Mindy's change shocked him even more. Even though Mindy is very skilled, it cannot change the fact that she is only a 13 or 14-year-old girl. In terms of strength, she is much worse. But now, Mindy is strong enough to lift a small car. And it's an exaggeration when it's not very strenuous. And all of this is because of Shu Hong. He had suspected that Shu Hong had other purposes, but on the way here, he did some research on Shu Hong's identity. They came to the conclusion that there was nothing worthy of Shu Hong's special planning on their father and daughter. Simply put, he was thinking too much. Mr. Shu, nice to meet you. So after seeing Shu Hong, Damon was very polite to Shu Hong. Not only because of Shu Hong's identity, but also because of the help Shu Hong gave to Mindy. Although it was Mingdi who rescued him this time, it was Shu Hong who really contributed. Because it was Shu Hong who found out where he was being held. Otherwise, it would be difficult for Mindy to find him. Thank you for taking care of Mindy and saving my life. Damon was not injured. After he was locked up, the drug dealers didn't do anything to him. Or rather, Mindy got him out before they could torture him. So he didn't lose any weight or injury. Apart from looking a little embarrassed, he was still in good spirits. You're welcome, Mr. Damon, are you willing to work for me? Damon froze for a moment. You saved my life. Logically speaking, I shouldn't refuse you, but you are in the pharmaceutical industry. For this industry, I really don't know how I can help you. Don't worry, I invited you here because I want you to continue doing your job, for example, a superhero fighting drug dealers and other criminals. For Captain America, you shouldn't be in a mode. Damon nodded. In the United States, who is unfamiliar with Captain America? Then you must have heard of Super Soldier Serum. Damon nodded again. After nodding, he seemed to think of something, and turned his head slightly to look at Mingdi. So, you guessed it right, Mindy has already used the Super Soldier Serum, which is a more perfect Super Soldier Serum than the one used by Captain America. In this world, only I can take it out. Seeing Damon's expression, Shu Hong knew that Damon had guessed why Mindy became so powerful. If the Super Soldier Serum is used, then it is normal. After all, even now, the United States government still wants to develop Super Soldier Serum. But that thing hasn't been taken over since Howard Stark died. I know you have a grudge against Frank Amick, so you can deal with him before you work for me. Mr. Shu, you have said so, why should I reject you, and it can be seen that Mindy likes you very much. Damon laughed. My daughter praised Shu Hong a lot on the way back. It can be seen that even though the two have known each other for a short time, the daughter likes Shu Hong very much. And Shu Hong doesn't look very big, only 6 or 7 years older than Mindy. The two are barely considered the same age. There is a friend of the same age as a friend, and as a father, he will also be happy for his daughter. When revenge is no longer so elusive, he is no longer so stubborn. Then, I can advance you some wages for working for me. While speaking, Shu Hong handed Damon a blue serum. It's the perfect version of a super soldier serum. The price of this thing in the system is $60 million, which is not cheap, but it is not expensive either. At least for Shu Hong now, it's not expensive at all. Seeing the serum Shu Hong handed over, Damon took it after hesitation. Thanks. Damon was a little excited. This is the super soldier serum. As long as he uses this thing, he will become very powerful immediately. You're welcome. This is your salary for working for me. In addition, I have prepared an arsenal for you with a lot of good things in it. Mindy knows where it is. She will take you there. I think you will love what's in there. Next, I will be away for a while, probably for a month or 2. After you deal with your own affairs, I should come back. See you in a month, then. Okay, Mr. Shu. Damon nodded, then took Mindy's hand and left. When Mindy left, she turned her head and winked at Shu Hong, very cute. Shu Hong also watched them leave with a smile. It's been over a month since returning from the world of the Walking Dead. It's time for him to go back and take a look at the situation over there. The cooldown time of the plane transfer skill can be reduced by spending money. This time in the past, Shu Hong planned to spend some money to reduce the cooldown time of the plane transfer skill. Otherwise, it will take half a month each time, which is too long. It is best to use it once a day. The world of the Walking Dead. It has been a month and a half since Shu Hong left. Because of Shu Hong's previous arrangements, even if he was not there, the City of God did not become chaotic. Think there are more survivors in the City of God than before Shu Hong left. When Shu Hong left, there were only more than 300 survivors in the City of Gods. And now there are more than 2,000 survivors. Both joined City of God after Shu Hong left. Definitely, with more survivors, there are more liar hunter teams. Naturally, they recovered more gold. During the month when Shu Hong was away, Angel One recovered as much as 42 million ounces of gold. The nearby states, as well as the gold scattered among the people, were basically collected by the scavengers in the City of God. Then recycling became God points, used to exchange things. After all, Shu Hong not only has magic potions that can improve strength, but also medicines that can prolong human life. Without enough God points, they can't be exchanged at all. After being able to ensure that they are fed and clothed, strength and living longer have become the pursuit of more people. And everyone knows that gold is limited. If you find more, I will find less in the future. So those liar hunters basically didn't stay for too long every time they came back, and immediately went out to look for gold again. At first you could find gold in the banks of some nearby cities, but now you have to travel farther to find more gold. It is precisely because of the involution of the liar hunters that Shu Hong now has 42 million ounces of gold that can be recovered. This is definitely good news for Shu Hong. After all, 42 million ounces of gold is not a small amount. Calculated according to the value of 1 ounce of gold at $1,820. 42 million ounces of gold are worth $76.4 billion. This amount is not small. In addition to the balance on Shu Hong's system account, his balance instantly exceeded $100 billion. The system will cost $20 billion to upgrade the plane transmission skills. Deducting $20 billion United States dollars, plane transfer skill upgrade was successful. Phil money will strengthen the system. Host, Shu Hong. Age, 22. Race, human race. Shou Yuan, 350. Money, $97 billion. P.S. This book sets an ounce of gold at $1,820, and the amount after 100 million will not be recorded. Item, none. Ability, plane teleportation, cooling time 3 days, usable money upgrade, cooling time reduction, super self-healing regeneration, cold weapon proficiency, hot weapon proficiency, super speed X-Men Quicksilver version, green titanization, perfect version. The plane transfer upgrade was successful, and the cooling time changed from half a month to 3 days. Although it was not a day, Shu Hong was satisfied. Then after the cooling time is over, he can open a new world. 3 days passed in a blink of an eye. After leaving enough various items in the world of The Walking Dead to consume them for a while, Shu Hong started the teleportation between planes and went to a new world. Gotham City. Shu Hong's figure suddenly appeared on the side of the street. Fortunately, it was night, so his appearance did not attract the attention of passers-by around him. Even if someone noticed Shu Hong's sudden appearance, they would feel that they were dazzled and hadn't noticed before. System. Buy items telepathy Professor X movie. Successful purchase. Deduction of $28 billion US. It is also a shadow version, but the telepathy of Professor X is more expensive than the perfect version of the Green Titan serum. But it's normal to think about it. After all, the ability of Professor X is too abnormal. Although the Green Titan's destructive power is powerful, when it comes to killing people, Professor X is much more powerful than the Green Titan, because his single thought is enough to kill thousands of people. Even if the shadow version of Professor X is put in Avengers, Professor X must be the top superhero. So in terms of price, the telepathy ability is more expensive, which is normal. The reason why Shu Hong bought this ability is that he can obtain information faster and easier. Just after buying the ability, a white man passed by. Shu Hong stretched out his hand and patted the opponent's shoulder, but the latter hadn't reacted yet. Telepathy's ability has been activated. He also instantly read all the memories in the man's mind. Gotham City, Batman, Mayor Harvey Dent Memorial, Bruce Wayne's retirement. Gotham's crime rate has dropped dramatically because of the Dent Act. It seems that I didn't come to DC where superheroes and supervillains are everywhere, but came to the world where the Dark Knight rises. After sorting out his memory, Shu Hong knew that he had come to a 600th world without superstars. This world has Batman, but not super. And unlike other DC universes, there are no superheroes and supervillains in this universe. Whether it is a villain or a hero, they are all ordinary people. But the Batman in this world also possesses some black technology. Also smart and rich. And look at the timeline. His current timeline is the third in the Dark Knight trilogy, The Dark Knight Rises. Because former Gotham City Mayor, Two-Face Harvey Dent is dead. Died by Batman. Definitely, not many people know that Harvey Dent is a double-faced person. Most people only know that Harvey Dent is the mayor of Gotham City. His appointment has changed Gotham City. In the end, it was Batman who killed him. And Batman also disappeared after killing Harvey Dent. The world of The Dark Knight Rises. It's a good world. Compared to a world where order collapsed like The Walking Dead, Shu Hong still prefers an orderly world where the currency system has not collapsed. Because this means that he can directly start a company and make money by doing business. Just like the Marvel world, start a company and make a lot of money. Rather than the collapse of the currency system, the only way to make money is by collecting valuable dongming such as gold and jade. Although it is not slow to make money this way, it is not sustainable. It is sustainable to start a company to make money, and the bigger the business, the more money you can make, which is much more than looking for gold all over the world to recycle. This time, Shu Hong still intends to do the drug business, but in addition to the 3 drugs that he presented in the Marvel world before, this time, he plans to add some new drugs. But before that, he had to create an identity for himself in this world, and then create a company. But these are not difficult. With a spiritual ability, he easily obtained a legal identity for himself, and then created a company. The company is still called Miracle Medicine. But so far it is still a shell company. The first thing he has to do now is to sell things and build up the reputation of the product. Unlike the Marvel world, the Dark Knight world is not yet the internet age, and the mobile phones used are still Nokias, and smartphones have not yet appeared. He wants to use the internet to promote his medicines, not as simple as the Marvel world. So he needs to find a sales channel for his products. The best way is to go to Wayne Group to cooperate. Wayne is a well-deserved leading company in Gotham, and it is also the top large group company in the entire Federation, involving many industries. It's no problem to work with them. But doing business is not doing charity. If he came to the door like this, even if the Wayne Group cooperated with him, they would definitely share part of the profits. This part of the profit will never be low. And the business of catching up is not called business. Even if he wants to cooperate with the Wayne Group, Shu Hong will not be in a hurry. Generally speaking, now is not the time. Old Town. Shu Hong walked towards a B&B, and he quickly came to the third floor of this famous building, and then knocked on the door of a room. Boom boom boom. The sudden knock on the door stunned Pamela Lillian Isley and Selina Kyle, who were talking in the room. The two looked at each other with vigilance and surprise in their eyes. You know, the place where they live is rarely visited by people. Boom boom boom. The two didn't move, but the knock on the door sounded again. The two women looked at each other, and under Selina's signal, Lillian did not move, but the former stood up. Twisting her slender waist, she walked towards the door. Although she walks casually, her whole body is tight, which allows her to deal with any sudden changes that may occur. When she reached the door, she first looked outside through the peephole of the door. Outside the door, a tall Asian man was standing there. He was standing straight, with his hands in front of him, looking very decent. Selina froze for a moment, recalling whether she had seen the other party somewhere. But after thinking about it for a long time, I can't remember where I saw Shu Hong. A handsome Asian guy. If she had seen it before, she would not have had a little impression of it, and she was still very confident in her memory. Then there is only one explanation left: she and the other party have never met. Click. The door lock was opened. Selina opened the door. A charming smile appeared on his face. Sir, who are you looking for? Selina knew very well that the most powerful weapon in her body was not her skills, but her beautiful appearance. I'm looking for Selina Kyle. That's you, Shu Hong said with a smile on his face, looking at Selina. A look of surprise flashed in the latter's eyes. He smiled and said, but we don't seem to know each other. It's not too late to get to know each other now. Let me introduce myself. My name is Shu Hong. I am from Daxia. I came to see you because I want to talk to you about business. I know you have a lot of channels in your hands, and I hope to use your channels to help me sell something. Trust me, you will be satisfied with the reward I offer. After Shu Hong's words fell, Selina first looked at the corridor behind Shu Hong. After confirming that Shu Hong came alone and no one else, she nodded. Come in. Step aside. Selina let Shu Hong in. As soon as he entered the room, Shu Hong saw another person in the room, Pamela Lillian Isley. The famous Poison Ivy. It's a pity that there are no superpowers in this world, so she is just an ordinary woman. That's Lillian, my good sister. Since you have investigated her, you should know her too. Selina saw Shu Hong glance at Lillian and introduced her. Shu Hong nodded. Hello, handsome Asian guy. I rarely see handsome Asian guys. Lillian greeted Shu Hong with a smile. Shu Hong nodded. You are also very beautiful. You can call me Shu. A unique surname, Lillian commented. Then he looked at the clothes on Shu Hong's body. It was an unfamiliar brand, which surprised Lillian. After all, there were very few clothing brands she did not recognize. Because it has something to do with her work with Selina. But even if she didn't know him, she could tell that the clothes Shu Hong was wearing were not cheap. This guy is a rich man. Tell me what your business is. What kind of stolen goods do you need me to sell for you, and what type is it? But I have to tell you in advance that my asking price is not low. No, what I want you to sell for me is not stolen goods. Shu Hong shook his head. Then he took out a small white spray bottle from his arms. This is what I want you to sell for me. Selina froze for a moment. He stepped forward, carefully looked at the small spray bottle, and then took out a pair of white gloves to put on himself before picking up the small spray bottle. Quick recovery spray. Don't tell me you're a drug dealer. Selina looked at Shu Hong, speechless. Shu Hong thought she was something, and even asked her to help sell products, and she was not a sales lady. Come on, she's a smart female thief. Okay. Yes, you were right, I am indeed a drug dealer. Shu Hong did not deny it. He admitted it very simply. In the movie, no matter what Catwoman steals, she can get rid of it quickly, without giving the police any time to react. It can be seen that she has her own unique channel, and this channel is not simple. After all, ordinary people, who would dare to take over stolen goods, especially those stolen by Catwoman Selina, are not ordinary stolen goods. This shows that the channel provider she cooperates with is very powerful. Being strong means being a good partner. As for whether the other party will cooperate with him, Shu Hong believes that no one can refuse the medicine in his hands. Unless they're not interested in money. But who in this world would not be interested in money? Even his system was based on money, let alone people. If the other party doesn't care about money, why should they take over the job of selling stolen goods? Sorry, I don't sell medicines for others. Selena suddenly lost interest in Shu Hong's so-called business. How much can you sell a drug? Even if her agency fee is higher, whether Shu Hong is willing to pay is a question. Whether those people accept this thing is also a problem. After all, medicines and the like, unless it is a special case, will be easy to sell. Under normal circumstances, who will not be able to buy the medicines they want? Don't rush to refuse, you haven't heard how much the agency fee I gave you yet. So, how much can you give me to contact you? Selena was not angry when she heard this, but looked at Shu Hong with a smile and said, I have to say that Catwoman with the face of Anne Hathaway is mature and beautiful. These words can be used on her, and with her proud figure, this is a very attractive woman. Especially when you laugh. No wonder Bruce Wayne took a lot of interest in her after just one encounter. Even Shu Hong felt a little emotional at the moment. After all, he is also a normal man, and he will also feel fond of beautiful women. Facts have proved that for a beautiful woman, her beautiful appearance is indeed a good weapon. Shu Hong smiled and raised his right hand, then stretched out 5 fingers. 500,000. Selena reported a number. Shu Hong shook his head. 50,000. Selena guessed another number. It's too small, let's guess when it's big. Could it be 5 million? Selena was a little surprised. She has stolen a lot of valuable things, but because they are stolen goods, even if she has a channel to sell them, the money she gets in the end is at most 10 to 20% of the original value of the item. And this is already high. That is, she is beautiful, and people are willing to give her more. For other people, if they can get 10% of the original value of the stolen goods, they can laugh out loud. After all, apart from gold, it is not easy to get rid of gems and so on. Especially if you have to clean things up first. No, it's 50 million US dollars. Shu Hong deliberately emphasized the word US dollars. Selena looked surprised. Don't blame her for it. Regardless of her frequent visits to high-level places, she has experienced a lot of money. But $50 million is definitely a huge sum of money to her. She has been in the industry for so many years, and the things she has stolen are worth at least several $100 million. But the money she got herself was not much. The money she has experienced is only 20 to 30 million US dollars. This is already a lot of money. And most of the money, she has donated. She didn't actually spend much of the money herself. 20 to 30 million dollars, she spent by herself, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. After all, she still has to buy beautiful clothes, otherwise how would she go to those high-level places to find targets? From the fact that she lives in an old house in the old city, or a rented house, it can be seen that the money in her hand is actually not much. $50 million is definitely not a small amount to her. She even once suspected that Shu Hong was joking with her. It was just to introduce a channel. Why would Shu Hong dare to ask her for a huge amount of 50 million US dollars as an intermediary fee? In other words, Shu Hong is a liar. He has no idea how huge a sum of 50 million US dollars is and how many things it can do. Are you kidding me? Definitely not. Perhaps, you still don't know what kind of potion you are holding. Selena was a little surprised when she heard this. Shu Hong's self-confidence made her unconsciously believe her words. Perhaps, we can do a small experiment. Shu Hong's words just fell. The door of the room was suddenly pushed open, and a 1.8-meter tall white man who looked to be in his 30s walked in from the door. Joseph, what are you doing here? Seeing the big white man, Selena frowned and asked. Obviously, she knew the big white guy because he lived upstairs from her. Because she and Poison Ivy were pretty enough, that guy even called their attention, but after being taught a hard lesson by her, he never dared to provoke them again. I didn't expect him to be so bold today, daring to break into her house directly. But to Selena's surprise, Joseph ignored her. After the other party walked in, he walked directly to Shu Hong's side, looking very abnormal. It seems that the handsome guy in front of us has tampered with Joseph. Lillian's voice sounded. Selena also noticed that Joseph's eyes were abnormal, his pupils were loose and not concentrated at all. Don't be surprised, it's just a small trick of hypnotic ability. After all, I can't let you two beautiful ladies do the experiment yourself. Shu Hong took out a dagger while speaking. Then he swiped directly at Joseph's wrist at the side. The sharp dagger easily separated Joseph's skin. A huge amount of wound appeared on his hand. Blood spurted out of it. But what was amazing was that, apart from his slightly pale face, Joseph was still standing there motionless. This also made the two women wary of Shu Hong, secretly labeling Shu Hong as dangerous in their hearts. Looking at Joseph's wound, almost all the bones inside can be seen. Blood poured out of the wound like money. It was obvious that Shu Hong had injured his main artery. If such an injury is not sent to the hospital in time, Joseph will definitely die due to too much blood loss. Just when Selena and Lillian were puzzled, Shu Hong took back the bottle of quick recovery spray from Selena. Spray on Joseph's wound. Then a miraculous scene happened. I saw that Joseph's wound recovered rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye after spraying the medicine. If you look closely, you can even see the rapidly growing granulation. Selena and Lillian were stunned by this scene. If it is in the DC universe where superhero walks everywhere, this scene is nothing. After all, Shendu-like Dachau exists in the world, and the appearance of a bottle of such medicine is not unexpected. Because Dachau originally is an unscientific existence, and he is also an alien. But in this world, there are no aliens, no superheroes, and even black technology is rare. The few black technologies are all in the hands of Bruce Wayne. This scene was also the first time they saw each other. Just a few breaths. Joseph has fully recovered from what appeared to be a serious injury. The two women even suspected that they had misread just now, so they stepped forward, stretched out their hands and touched the part of Joseph that had just been injured. The skin on the surface is intact, and it doesn't look like it just suffered a serious injury. Even if it's a mid-laner in the heart, as long as you don't die immediately, take out the bullet and spray a little of this stuff, you can still be saved. Do you think anyone will buy such a medicine? Shu Hong looked at the shocked Selena and Lillian and asked with a smile. It's not just that someone will buy it. This kind of medicine will definitely be a must-have medicine for every family in the future. I finally understand why you came to me. I have to say, you are really a genius. Selena praised. Her words not only praised Shu Hong for developing this drug, but also praised his choice. So, would you like to introduce your partner to me? Definitely, why not? I don't doubt that you can't give me $50 million. Selena laughed. The amount Shu Hong gave moved her heart, but it was just a few smiles, and she was not stingy. Definitely, if you're willing, I'm short of a secretary job. If you're willing to come, I can give you an annual salary of $20 million US. I don't like constraints, Selena said. Okay. Seeing Selena's refusal, Shu Hong didn't say anything. She doesn't want to. Why don't you consider me? I'd be happy to be your handsome guy's secretary. Poison Ivy Lillian said at this moment. Compared to Selena, Poison Ivy is also a big beauty, but in terms of charm, she is a little behind Selena. But this is also normal. After all, the Poison Ivy in this world is a normal person, without some enchanting charm. But this woman tidied up a little, and she was also a charming woman. And her mind is also very good, and her cunning is no less than that of Catwoman Selena. Don't be easily fooled by her appearance. Definitely can if you want. Shu Hong's requirements for the secretary are not high. At most, he would represent him to give orders to the company's employees on weekdays. Or make a note of the reception on his behalf. The operation of the company, this Shu Hong will directly hand over to the super artificial intelligence. With the experience of the Marvel world, super artificial intelligence is indeed better than the CEO in handling things. After all, Shu Hong only needs to give orders. The super artificial intelligence will help him issue orders to everyone in the company. Some matters that require someone to run errands can be handed over to the secretary. If the company's employees have anything to respond to Shu Hong, they can also directly respond to Shu Hong through the super artificial intelligence program. In this way, the stable operation of the company can be guaranteed, and there will be no situation where the company's executives cheat. Especially the most important financial affairs can also be completely handed over to super artificial intelligence. That's all. Then should I call you boss now? If you want. Shu Hong spread his hands. And Selena just glanced at the two of them, and then went to the side to make a phone call. When Selena walked away, Shu Hong waved to Joseph. The latter immediately turned around and walked out of the room. After going out, I still haven't forgotten to help them close the door. Wait until Joseph returns to his home. Sitting back on the sofa, his dilated pupils just recovered. Strange, why do I feel a little dizzy? Is it because I didn't sleep well last night? It seems that I have to rest early today. Downstairs, Selena finished the call quickly. I have made an appointment for you. They are very interested in your things. They decided to meet you today. Do you need to prepare? Those people are not good people, Selena reminded. Then do you think I'm a good person? Shu Hong asked back. Selena pinched her chin, looked at Shu Hong, and nodded slightly. You at least seem like a nice guy. Where are they meeting? Shu Hong didn't answer Selena's words, but asked directly. Are you driving? It's just downstairs. Then let's go, I will show you the way. I have to do something for at least 50 million, otherwise it will be too easy, I don't feel at ease. Then let's go. After speaking, Shu Hong turned around and walked out of the room first. Selena and Lillian glanced at each other, then followed Shu Hong's footsteps. When the three of them arrived downstairs, a handsome silver supercar was parked by the side of the road. Yes, it seems that we came down in time, and your car has not been stolen. In fact, someone has already taken action, but he failed. Shu Hong replied. But neither Selena nor Lillian paid any attention to this sentence. The three got into the car, and the car turned into a silver lightning and disappeared at the end of the street amidst a roar. Iceberg Restaurant is located in the busiest area in downtown Gotham. This is a special place because it belongs to Gotham's famous Penguin. On the surface, this is a popular restaurant, but in fact, it is a cover used by Penguin to cover up a series of illegal financial activities such as money laundering for the underground world. I have to say that Penguin is really bold and smart. The routine of Black Under the Lamp was played thoroughly by him. The restaurant's 3 basement floors. Here sat a bunch of men in fancy tuxedos, smoking cigars and drinking red wine, accompanied by girls. And in the most central position, sat a man who was only about 1.4 meters tall. Everyone faintly centered on him. He was wearing a black tuxedo and a black magic hat. Even inside the house, he was holding a black umbrella, which looked weird. He has a hooked nose that looks very sharp, and his complexion is extremely pale, which, combined with his fat body, makes him look like a large penguin. He was handed over to Walter Chesterfield Copperpot, and those who knew him well knew that he had another identity, namely the famous Penguin in Gotham. In Gotham, it is recognized as someone who cannot be messed with. Batman is one, Joker is one, and Penguin is one. Because the Penguin controls 1/3 of the underworld forces in Gotham. He is not only rich, but also smart, so he has gathered a lot of people under his command. Those who offend him will hardly end well. Penguin, do you really believe that woman Selena, she is just a beautiful female thief? Bern Gorman said. He is the boss of the Bourne gang, and he has many younger brothers. He is considered a powerful black boss in Gotham. Be friends with Penguin. On weekdays, his black money was laundered by Penguin. Not only is it safe and fast, but the share required is not high. At least within the scope of his acceptance, compared to other money laundering groups, he is more than happy to cooperate with Penguin. Bern Gorman said that because he was upset with Selena. They are no strangers to this woman, Selena. After all, she would often come here to ask Penguin to help sell the stolen goods. In Gotham, only the Penguin has the ability to get rid of the stolen goods in a very short period of time. So Selena often comes here to find Penguin. They are naturally no strangers to Selena. That is a very beautiful woman. Even if there is no shortage of beautiful women around them. But as the saying goes, what you can't get is the most attractive. Selena's charm fascinates them. But Selena is no ordinary woman. She is a rose with thorns, very dangerous, and it is not a good choice to provoke her. After all, once a woman becomes ruthless, she is really ruthless. They don't want to wake up and the little brother is gone. Bern Gorman was once rejected by Selena, and he couldn't do anything to Selena. He was too serious, but he would be laughed at by others for his lack of style. Even gangsters need face. It is precisely because of this that he is unhappy with Selena. Bourne, We all know what kind of woman Selena is, and I believe she won't joke about this kind of thing. I'm very interested in the person in her mouth and the things in his hands. The penguin said with a smile. It's just that with his face, his smile looks a little distorted and weird no matter how you look at it. Perhaps, we will have one more friend because of this, not necessarily. When everyone heard the words, their expressions were different, but no one refuted Penguin's words. Whether you can make friends or not depends on whether what Selena said is true or not. They're gangsters, and making money is what's most interested in them. If you can make them make money, then we are friends. If you can't make them make money, then sorry, I don't know each other. In fact, the banquet was almost over, but none of them left. It was because of Selena's phone call just now. If what Selena said is true, then a road to wealth is tantamount to lying in front of them. Leaving at this time, that's not what a fool is. Don't look at Bern Gorman saying that he doesn't believe Selena, but his butt is more secure than anyone else. If you are fake, you will wait in vain. If so, the opportunity to make a fortune is right in front of you. He will not miss such a good opportunity. We're here, handed the car over to the restaurant's parking attendant. The three get out of the car. Bingshan Restaurant. Seeing where he came from, Shu Hong was neither surprised nor surprised. The accident is that the place where Selena brought him is the Penguin's Chassis, the Iceberg Restaurant, and it is not surprising because the place she brought him is the Penguin's Iceberg Restaurant. He should have thought of it earlier. In Gotham, who can launder money and get rid of stolen goods faster than the villain Penguin? It seems that you also know this place. Seeing Shu Hong's reaction, Selena knew that Shu Hong also knew what this place was. I've heard of it, but I haven't been here. Then come with me. Selena finished speaking and led the way. She walked gracefully, with a beautiful face and a slim figure, like a walking hormone, attracting the attention of many men along the way. Lillian next to her is not much worse. The combination of two beauties and one handsome guy is very eye-catching. The three of them entered the restaurant and went directly to the back kitchen of the restaurant. Here, the three were stopped. I'm looking for Cobbett, and I've already made an appointment with him, Selena said directly. Hearing this, the man didn't let the three of them go directly, but made a phone call to confirm. Wait until the identities of the three are confirmed. He just put down the phone and said, I'm sorry ma'am, please follow me. The three of them followed the man and soon came to a secret door, behind which was an elevator. The elevator opened and the man walked in first. The three of Shu Hong followed. The man directly presses the -3 layers. The elevator begins to descend. Ding. After a while, the elevator came to the third basement floor. After the three of Shu Hong got off the elevator, the man closed the elevator again. As soon as they stepped out of the elevator, the three of them saw a row of men in black with weapons. These guys are gang members. They were also looking at the three of them. But no one spoke, but made way for the three of them to enter. The further you go in, the bigger the space and the more people there are. They're all big white guys with weapons and don't look like good people. Make the originally empty space slightly crowded. If ordinary people come to this place, they will probably be too scared to go inside. But Shu Hong and the three still walked in without changing their expressions. Soon, they came to the innermost room. After the two big men at the door opened the door for them, the three walked in. Our friend is here. Just entering the door, a slightly sharp and hoarse voice sounded. At the same time, Shu Hong also felt no less than 10 eyes falling on him. There are also malicious glances. But he didn't care. Even though this group of people are gang bosses with many younger brothers, to Shu Hong, they are no different from ants. It was easy for Shu Hong to trample them to death. If he wasn't too lazy to meddle in other people's business, he could easily kill these people. How could he care about their malicious eyes? His face was calm, and his eyes fell on the penguin in the crowd. His image features are very special. It is difficult for Shu Hong not to recognize his identity at a glance. Selena, and the two friends you brought, welcome. The penguin stood up and said with a smile on his face. It looked as if it was really his very good friend coming, and he rose to welcome the above. In fact, those who are familiar with him know that this is his usual style. Because he is very polite and warm to everyone. Definitely, when he is stalking you behind your back and is about to kill you, he won't be lenient in the slightest. To be honest, I don't like coming to your place, because there are too many stinky men here, and I won't be able to eat dinner when I see them. Selena's ridicule, except for the penguin's expression, remained unchanged. The other black bosses all looked gloomy, looking very ugly. But Selena didn't care about their stinky faces at all. Because she doesn't look down on the people sitting here at all. None of these people are good people. Although she is a female thief, she only steals from the rich. Even if the rich have less things, it will not affect their lives. And she would sell the stolen things for money to support the orphans. Although she was dressed in black, her heart was cleaner and whiter than all the people sitting here. And Penguin didn't know how to answer Selena's words for a while. So, he simply didn't pick up. My friend, you should bring what Selena said. As soon as Penguin said this, everyone's attention was really attracted by him. No one cared about what Selena said just now. Instead, he looked at Shu Hong. They all knew that things should be in Shu Hong's hands. Shu Hong threw the quick recovery spray in his hand at Penguin. The spray fell into Penguin's hands very precisely. This is a product developed by our company, Quick Recovery Spray, you can try its effect. Penguin looked at the spray in his hand. Then he looked at a black boss beside him. The latter is also a ruthless man. Without any nonsense, he directly took out a gun and shot himself in the thigh. Blood donation splash. The man's head was covered with cold sweat from the pain, but he gritted his teeth and said nothing. Those who can sit here are basically ruthless people. His marksmanship was poor, the bullet did not stay in his thigh, but flew out from the other end. The injury can be said to be serious. Penguin first helped him lift his legs onto the table. Then he took the spray given by Shu Hong and sprayed it on his wound. When the spray was sprayed on his wound, the man originally had a face full of pain, but he immediately let go. His eyes were full of surprise. Because the wound that was still painful just now, it doesn't hurt at all now. It was crispy and numb, as if it had been given anesthesia. What surprised everyone even more was the recovery speed of the wound. The wound was recovering at a speed visible to the naked eye, and the granulation was soaring. It didn't take a moment for the wound to fully heal. The man stood up, turning his thighs outward. The back penetration is gone. If the hole in the trousers was not still there, and there were a lot of blood and a bloody bullet next to it, who would have known that the man had just been injured by a bullet, or whether it was a penetrating wound? Bieber, what do you think? Someone said. He definitely wasn't concerned about the man's injuries, but wanted to know how he was doing now. I feel good. If I hadn't just shot myself with my own hand, I would never believe it was real. This is simply crazy. The black man named Bieber looked excited. Because he smelled money. At this moment, he looked at Shu Hong like a male dog in heat. He even had the idea of detaining Shu Hong and getting the medicine formula from him in an instant. Definitely, he wasn't the only one with this idea. The other black bosses are similar. Except for Penguin, everyone looked at Shu Hong with red eyes. It seemed as if he was going to pounce on Shu Hong in the next second. The current Shu Hong is more attractive than the most beautiful girl in their eyes. After all, as long as beautiful women have money, they can have as much as they want. But a super cash cow like Shu Hong may only come across this once in a lifetime. But because of the scruples that this is the Penguin's territory, even if they are all moved by it, no one messes around. Bieber, it seems that you need to calm down. Penguin's voice sounded. To be honest, the quick recovery spray made him equally excited, so he wanted to keep it for himself. But his reason still occupies above greed. This allowed him to maintain a calm mind. Because he knew very well what this spray represented. In the pharmaceutical industry, this spray is absolutely epic-making. It is no exaggeration to say that its appearance will change the world. It is unknown whether Shu Hong developed such a potion by himself or by a team. He didn't know anything about Shu Hong. Penguins rarely do irrational things. Before knowing whether the target is strong, he will not easily turn against the opponent. That's why he was able to do so well in Gotham. Because he never took the initiative to make enemies for himself. And also like to make friends. As long as everyone around him becomes friends and there are no enemies, then he will be able to live in peace all the time. Penguin, you know what we need right now is not calm. But you will scare our friends. The Penguin looked at Shu Hong. He was reminding these idiots blinded by greed. since Shu Hong dared to come to them with such a thing alone. It means that the other party must have his own confidence. Not all of them were idiots. After being reminded by the penguin, at least someone calmed down. But there are still many people who have not calmed down. Then my friend, how do you plan to cooperate with us? The penguin approached Shu Hong and asked proactively. He doesn't want to let the gang who are blinded by greed talk now. Before talking about this matter, I actually have another deal to make with you, Penguin. Shu Hong leaned slightly, looked at Penguin and said humanely. Penguin doesn't like people looking down on him like this, because when he was a student, the guys who bullied him also liked to treat him like this, laughing at his shortness. It reminded him of some bad doubts. But at this moment, Shu Hong's words aroused his interest instead. The quick recovery spray brought by Shu Hong, he has seen its magic with his own eyes. As for Shu Hong who brought this magical item, Penguin is willing to hear what Shu Hong has to say. The mysterious color on this guy is too strong for people to see through. Do you believe that people can come back from the dead? Back to life? Penguin's expression changed upon hearing this. What the hell are you trying to say? Penguin almost growled. It's hard to imagine why Penguin, who was so calm just now, suddenly became like this. In fact, this is not difficult to understand. Penguin's real name is Oswald Chesterfield Coppert, and he is a member of the Coppert family, one of Gotham's 4 major families. He also had a miserable childhood before becoming Gotham's underworld boss. Since he was a child because of his short stature, he was ridiculed and bullied by his peers, which made him feel inferior. Later, his mother died in front of him, which made him feel the pain of the death of his relatives. Later, he became a gang member and wandered around Gotham. After going through many things, his biological father, the patriarch of the Copperpot family, found him. His father loves him very much, he is very tolerant of what he has done in the past, and feels distressed for him. After his mother passed away, he once again felt the love from his relatives, which also made Penguin change his ways and plan to be a good person. If there is no accident, Gotham's future will not have one more underworld boss, but one more great philanthropist. But accidents always happen. Penguin's stepmother's family is dissatisfied with the sudden appearance of the heir of the Copperpot family. Because of his arrival, it means that after the death of his father, the Copperpot family will be inherited by Penguin. This is not what they want to see. They tried to poison Penguin with poison, but the poison was accidentally drunk by Penguin's father. Originally suffering from heart disease, Penguin's father passed away prematurely. The death of his father made Penguin very sad. After discovering that it was the stepmother's family who poisoned his father, he killed them, and the kind Penguin disappeared completely, and the evil Penguin reappeared in Gotham. P.S. The latest version of film and television settings are used here, not comic settings. If there is anything that Penguin people care about most, then his relatives are definitely what he cares most about. What Shu Hong said just now can be said to have grasped the lifeline of Penguin. If Shu Hong can resurrect Penguin's father, then Shu Hong can definitely subdue Penguin. As for the fact that Penguin is not a good person, Shu Hong doesn't care. What he values is Penguin's ability. His smart brain, superior communication ability and ruthless wrist are what Shu Hong values him. As for what kind of person he is, Shu Hong doesn't care. He is not a person who hates evil. Nor is it a superhero. I can resurrect your parents, Shu Hong said again. These words are like a blockbuster. Almost knocked the Penguin unconscious. But Penguin hasn't lost his mind yet. He looked at Shu Hong fixedly. Why should I believe your words? Look at the guys behind you. The Penguin turned around suspiciously. Selina and Lillian only discovered the abnormality in the room after Shu Hong reminded them. It was so quiet. Although it was quiet before, at least there were some small movements. After all, those black bosses were not dead men, and they sat there motionless. But now, the whole room is unusually quiet. When everyone was silent, there was only a slight breathing sound in the room. Before looking at the black bosses who were excited before. At this moment, like the female companion beside them, with dilated pupils and a dull expression, they just sat there like a fool. This scene is very weird. But combined with what Shu Hong said just now, it is not difficult to see that this is Shu Hong's method. When were you? What's going on? Penguin asked puzzled. It wasn't just him who was puzzled. Selena and Lillian also looked shocked and puzzled. Fortunately, they believed Shu Hong's words before, believing that Joseph was indeed possessed by his hypnotic ability. This is the result. Hypnotic ability, what a ghost. This kind of means is completely beyond the possession of normal people. Adding what Shu Hong said to Penguin. At this moment, Selena and Lillian looked at Shu Hong with inhuman eyes. It's just a small trick, don't be nervous. Penguin's expression changed slightly, which was called a trick. No wonder those idiots stared at Shu Hong so unscrupulously just now, with an expression of wanting to swallow Shu Hong. Shu Hong's expression has not changed from the beginning to the end. It turned out that people didn't take those idiots seriously from the beginning to the end. Perhaps, this is where Shu Hong's confidence lies. But seeing this miraculous scene, he remembered what Shu Hong had just said to him. He can resurrect his parents. It sounds outrageous, but Shu Hong's performance at the moment at least gave him a little hope. Maybe Shu Hong can really revive his parents. Otherwise, how to explain what is happening in front of you? Moreover, he was smart enough not to think that Shu Hong came to deliberately deceive him. Because of the quick recovery spray, even without his channel, Shu Hong will sell it all over the world sooner or later. The difference is fast and slow. The other party's demand for him is not necessary, so the possibility of deceiving him is naturally very small. You can really resurrect my parents. Definitely, but you need to pay the corresponding price, Shu Hong affirmed. Penguin was not surprised by Shu Hong's words. He understood very early on that no one else in this world will hand you a free lunch except your parents. Shu Hong is not related to him, so why help him revive his parents? It's impossible for him not to pay a price. If you can revive them, I will become your most loyal servant, and all my assets will belong to you. Penguin said very solemnly and seriously. I only need your loyalty. As for your assets, I'm not interested. Penguin's assets should be quite a lot, plus he controls the Copperpot family, one of Gotham's 4 major families. There should be tens of billions of dollars. This is an astronomical sum. But Shu Hong didn't like it. Tens of billions of dollars is a lot. But as long as his plan is successful, he can earn so much in a month. He really doesn't like Penguin's assets. And Penguin's ingenuity also needs to have corresponding assets, so that he can fully display his ability. This kind of him is what Shu Hong needs. As for the resurrected Penguin's parents, in the system, there is something called backtracking potion. As long as you find the bones of Penguin's parents and put a drop on them, you can revive them. And the price of a drop of backtracking potion is only 200 million US dollars. For Shu Hong now, it was nothing at all. In the 600th world, Penguin's intelligence is top-notch, and sometimes he will be described as a person who is smarter than Batman. This is also where Shu Hong values Penguin. For Shu Hong, subduing the Penguin would be of great benefit. Chapter 31. A cemetery in Gotham City. This is the territory belonging to the Copperpot family. It is also the burial site of his father, Elijah Van Dahl Copperpot. Definitely, his mother is also buried here, just a little distance from his father's. At this moment, a group of gangsters in black suits are digging at the 2 tombs of Penguin's parents with shovels and hoes. This was done to exhume the bones of his parents. Shu Hong said that to resurrect them, he needed their bones. Although doing so is disrespectful to parents. But Penguin is willing to trust Shu Hong once. Because even if the hope is very slim, he is willing to try. Penguin will do anything for his loving parents. As he said to Shu Hong before, as long as Shu Hong can revive his parents, he will become Shu Hong's most loyal servant and do anything for him. Even if Shu Hong asks him to commit suicide, he will do it without hesitation. Because there are many people, 2 tombs were soon dug up. The coffin inside was revealed. The coffin was quickly lifted up. In front of you, Shu Hong and Penguin stepped forward. Selena and Lillian followed suit because they didn't want to miss what was going to happen next. The coffin was opened. 2 dead bones were exposed. As for the smell of corpses, it is not strong, only a little bit. After all, the corpses have basically rotted, leaving only the bones, so there is no such strong smell of corpses. Seeing the bones of his parents, Penguin seemed to see their kind appearance. A sad look appeared on his face. It's hard to imagine that this sad-faced, tear-eyed guy is the king of Gotham. Shu Hong didn't speak. Instead, he stepped forward, stretched out his hand, and put it on top of Penguin's father's bones. Then a small white bottle appeared out of nowhere in Shu Hong's hands. There is a drop of crystal liquid in the bottle that exudes blue light, which is very beautiful. Even in the daytime, it exudes dazzling light. When the bottle was opened, the blue liquid dripped and landed on the bones of Penguin's father. In the next second, a dazzling blue light erupted inside the coffin. The glare of blue light made it hard for everyone to open their eyes. Even Shu Hong squinted his eyes slightly. Inside the coffin, a beating red heart appeared from the bones of Penguin's father out of thin air. Afterwards, various flesh and blood tissues quickly intertwined. After a while, after the blue light dissipated, there was already a naked middle-aged Caucasian man in his 40s inside the coffin. Seeing this scene, Penguin was very excited. He quickly took the clothes from the hands of his subordinates and covered his father Ilya. "Father." Penguin leaned over beside Ilya and called softly. It seemed that he was afraid that the sound would be too loud and disturb his father. It seems that the call of Penguin was heard by Ilya. His eyelids moved slightly, and then opened his eyes. When he saw the Penguin in front of him, Ilya subconsciously called out his name. "Walter." "Father, it's me." Hearing his father's familiar voice, Penguin became even more excited. "This is me." Ilya quickly realized that something was wrong, and he found himself lying in a coffin. This made him a little stunned. "I remember. I seem to be dead." "Yes, father, you died, but now you are alive again." Penguin excitedly explained what happened to his father Ilya. When he learned that it was his second boss who poisoned him. After his death, his son Penguin took revenge on them and killed them all. There was only a touch of regret and sigh on Ilya's face. Doesn't blame Penguin for killing his stepmother and siblings. Because Penguin killed them for him. He has no right to blame Penguin. Then, his eyes fell on Shu Hong. "Mr. Shu, you can call me that. Thank you very much for resurrecting me, and thank you for your help to Walter. If you don't dislike it, I will also be your loyal servant." "Father." Penguin was startled, as if he wanted to say something. But Elijah shook his head. Seeing his father's firm attitude, Penguin didn't say anything. "Then you can be a housekeeper for me." Shu Hong did not refuse Ilya's offer to surrender. As the former patriarch of the Copperpot family, Ilya's ability may not be comparable to that of Penguin, but it is definitely no problem to be a housekeeper for Shu Hong. "Happy to serve you," Ilya said with a smile. Then came the resurrection of Penguin's mother, and after that, the family carnival was staged. Penguin father and son are also more and more grateful to Shu Hong. At the same time, Shu Hong became more and more awed in his heart. Even Selena and Lillian, the way they looked at Shu Hong changed. After all, it is a means to revive people. This is no longer something humans can do. They seriously suspected that Shu Hong was a god descended from the human world. As for Shu Hong's Asian identity, this is nothing. After all, the gods in the East are also gods. And with the support of the Penguin father and son, the next thing will be simple. Relying on the channel controlled by the Copperpot family and the channel of the Penguin. Shu Hong's medicines were quickly sold to the entire Commonwealth, then to European countries, and to the whole world. In just a few days, the Miracle Pharmaceutical Group has become well known in Gotham, and it is not far behind the Wayne Group. Each of its several drugs is equivalent to dropping a big bomb on the pharmaceutical industry. Many people were tempted by it. Secretly attack Miracle Pharmaceutical Group. But soon they realized that something is not right. Because the Copperpot family, one of the 4 major families in Gotham, has a cooperative relationship with the Miracle Pharmaceutical Group. In other words, they had to consider the consequences of offending the Copperpot family before making a move against the Miracle Pharmaceutical Group. Penguin is the king of Gotham. His ruthless methods made many people afraid of him. But there are also those who don't care about the Penguin and secretly take action against miracle medicine. But the final result is all failure. Then someone heard about the death of the perpetrator. This also makes many people put out the idea of miracle medicine. Money is good, but if you lose your life, no matter how much money you have, it is useless. In a blink of an eye. Half a month passed. Miracle Medicine Building. Originally owned by the Copperpot family, it is now owned by Miracle Medicine Headquarters. The chairman's office on the 33rd floor of the building. Shu Hong is processing a pile of documents. Suddenly there was a knock on the door outside the office. Then the door was pushed open. Two slim figures walked in from the room. None other than Selena and Lillian. At the moment, both women are wearing black OL outfits, with black stockings on their slender and straight thighs. On the feet are red-soled black high-heeled shoes. In addition, both of them are the kind of women with good figures. Wearing professional suits on them, the bumps and convexities are very charming, which makes people's hearts move. The two are now Shu Hong's secretary. Although at the beginning when Shu Hong invited Selena, she rejected Shu Hong. But then she agreed to Shu Hong again. As for the reason, a beautiful woman approached a man proactively. Other than being attracted by his charm, what could be the reason? Shu Hong is not only tall and handsome, but also young and wealthy. Coupled with the mysterious color on his body, and the strong self-confidence emanating from his eyes from the beginning to the end, it seems that there is nothing in the world that he cannot do. This kind of him is fatally attractive to women. Boss, this is the company's financial report for half a month. Besides, there are a bunch of invitations. Do you want me to help you deal with them like before? After becoming Shu Hong's secretary, Selena also quickly integrated into her current identity. It is very different from the image of the previous female thief. I remember Gotham's Harvey Dent Day in a few days. Do you have any invitations for this? Shu Hong asked aloud. Upon hearing this, Selena began to rummage through a pile of invitations. After a while, she pulled out an invitation card from it. Yes, here is an invitation card from the City Hall, inviting you to attend Harvey Dent Day in a few days at Wayne Manor. Do you want to participate? Definitely, but go to the banquet. I still need a female companion. I don't know if you would like to come together. Definitely, Selena agreed without any hesitation. Boss, why don't you ask me if I want to participate? Aren't I beautiful? Definitely, you are also very beautiful, Lillian, but I think Selena is more suitable this time, and I will take you with me next time. Okay, Lillian pouted. As Shu Hong's secretary, the work is very easy. On weekdays, what I deal with the most is Shu Hong's life. In terms of work, Shu Hong rarely uses them. In other words, they have a lot of free time. Lillian is quite satisfied with her current life. It's much more interesting than being a female thief before. And Shu Hong's wages for them are not low. She has nothing to complain about. Shu Hong was not talking. Instead, he took the financial report handed over by Selena and began to watch it. Shu Hong handed over the company's finances to the artificial intelligence White Queen. It is the super artificial intelligence program in the world of Resident Evil, White Queen, but Shu Hong, the White Queen, has a higher level program. Definitely, the price is also more expensive. But compared to White Queen's ability, it's worth the money. Shu Hong has made 2 financial reports. One was produced by White Queen. One is handmade. That is, the 2 secretaries, Selena and Lillian, are in charge. Their work is too easy and boring. So Shu Hong also found some jobs for them, so that they would at least not have to be so idle. Only half a month. With the help of the Penguin and the Kurtwave family, Shu Hong's medicine is very popular. Hotter than the first month of the Marvel Universe. So in just half a month, the revenue has reached $34 billion. Putting aside the packaging cost and other costs, Shu Hong's profit is about $32 billion. This is no longer printing money, it is directly stealing money. That's why he always received invitations to various banquets. Just like in the Marvel world back then, Tony Stark was overshadowed by the limelight. Now Shu Hong's limelight in Gotham has overshadowed Bruce Wayne. Although Bruce Wayne is also rich. But now he hardly shows up. And in terms of profits, the Wayne Group has been going downhill in the past few years, and the situation is not very good. The Miracle Pharmaceutical Group in the hands of Shu Hong is like a rising star with huge room for improvement. If the financial report in Shu Hong's hands is exposed, he will immediately become a richer man who is more dazzling than Bruce Wayne. Definitely, even without this financial report, anyone with a heart can guess that Shu Hong has made a lot of money. 3 days later, Wayne Estate. Shu Hong stepped off a Rolls-Royce Phantom. He took Selena by the hand. Today's Selena is wearing a long silver dress with a beautiful crystal necklace around her neck. The glittering silver earrings set off her already beautiful face and made her even more radiant. As soon as she got out of the car, she became the most beautiful and dazzling woman in the audience. With a smile on her lips, she wrapped her arms around Shu Hong's under the gaze of everyone, and then walked into Wayne Manor with Shu Hong. "It's Mr. Shu from Miracle Medicine. I didn't expect Mr. Shu to come to this banquet. Mr. Shu, hello, I am XX from XX Group." "Hi Mr. Shu, nice to meet you." When Shu Hong got off the car, he immediately became the focus of the audience. The limelight overshadowed everyone for a while. Director Gordon, the famous Gotham heads-up king, also noticed Shu Hong's arrival. There is no way, the commotion caused by his arrival is too great, and it is impossible not to notice it. But Gordon didn't greet Shu Hong like the others, but just watched from a distance. The organizers also quickly came to Shu Hong. This Harvey Dent Day banquet was held by the City Hall. Although they sent invitations to Shu Hong, they didn't think Shu Hong would come. After all, since he became famous in Gotham, he has never heard of anyone's banquet he has attended. It can be said that this person is even more difficult to invite than Mr. Bruce Wayne. Following the organizers, Shu Hong brought Selina to their exclusive seats, located at the front end of the auditorium. After all, his identity is there. If Shu Hong is arranged in the back seat, it is humiliating Shu Hong. No one will do something that offends people without benefit. As soon as he sat down, Shu Hong looked at the manor castle beside him. Even at night, Shu Hong could still see a figure standing there in the darkness, looking at the crowd below. Bruce Wayne. Even without seeing the man's face clearly, Shu Hong was also sure that the one standing there was Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne on the castle also noticed Shu Hong's sight. There was a look of surprise on his face. He can be sure that Shu Hong saw him. Because of the light, the people below couldn't see him, but he was sure that Shu Hong must have seen him. It surprised him, aware of Shu Hong's difficulty. But soon, he shook his head again, not thinking about it anymore. Because he already planned to make Batman disappear forever. Gotham no longer needs Batman, nor does it need Bruce Wayne. No one needs Bruce Wayne. Shu Hong is not simple, what does it matter to him? Although he stays at home, he also heard that a very powerful pharmaceutical company has recently emerged. It must be the guy below. Shook his head. Bruce Wayne left the castle balcony on crutches and began to return to the room. It was late at night, and the high wind gradually increased, making people feel uncomfortable. Below, first the deputy mayor speaks, followed by Gotham Police Chief Jim Gordon. In addition to commemorating the contribution of former Gotham Mayor Harvey Dent to Gotham, this banquet is also a banquet calling for donations. As for the object of donation, naturally, the City Hall and the police station. At the same time, it is also a banquet for the upper class to make friends. People would get to know each other at the banquet and talk about business or something. After Gordon finished his speech, the banquet officially began. And Shu Hong also became the one surrounded by the crowd. The purpose, of course, is to make friends with Shu Hong. After all, any drug sold by Shu Hong's Miracle Medicine is a good drug, and there is no need to worry about selling it. If Shu Hong leaked out a little, it would be enough for them to eat. After dealing with a lot of people, Shu Hong said he would donate $30 million to the city police station to add new weapons and equipment to the city police station. He took Selina and left. He came this time just to show his face. As for seeing Bruce Wayne or something, he hadn't thought about it. To work with the Wayne Group, he doesn't need to meet Bruce Wayne, just go to Lucius Fox. In the current Wayne Group, Fox is in charge instead of Wayne. Fox is a genius scientist. Many black technologies in the hands of Bruce Wayne were developed by Fox for him. Fox is also one of the few people Bruce Wayne trusts extremely. Otherwise, he would not trust Fox with such a large group as the Wayne Group. If Shu Hong wants to cooperate, he doesn't need to meet Bruce Wayne at all. Just make an appointment with Fox directly. After leaving Wayne Manor, Shu Hong returned to his own villa in Gotham. This villa also belonged to the Copperpot family before, but it has been given to Shu Hong by the Penguin. Shu Hong didn't come back alone, he came back with him and Selina. "Won't you invite me up for a drink?" Shu Hong naturally wouldn't say that you didn't drink enough at the banquet. It was a very gentlemanly invitation to Selina to go upstairs. Of course there is no need to say much about what happened after that. It rained all night. The next day, after Selina got up, She touched her side and found that Shu Hong was not there. She was tortured enough by Shu Hong last night, and it was the first time she knew how strong that guy Shu Hong was. Just like a cow. In other words, her physical fitness is not bad. If it were another woman, she might have fallen apart. Whether she can get out of bed today is a problem. Definitely, she is very satisfied with Shu Hong. Whether it's abilities, appearance, or his prestige on the bed. Put on the clothes that the maid had prepared long ago and placed beside the bed. After Selena finished washing, she came to the living room. Found Shu Hong sitting in the living room watching the news. Penguin sat on the sofa next to him. "You're up." Seeing Selena coming out, Shu Hong glanced at her. "Yeah," Selena nodded. Seeing that Penguin was present, he didn't say much. "The breakfast maid has prepared it for you, go and eat, I have already eaten." Selena didn't say anything after hearing the words. He walked out of the living room with steps. She is not a hypocritical woman, she must have breakfast with Shu Hong. Penguin appears here, which means that he and Shu Hong have something to talk about. She doesn't pay much attention to the man's career. Definitely, the main reason is that she has confidence in Shu Hong and knows that nothing will trouble Shu Hong. She believed that Shu Hong could handle it well. A news is being broadcast on TV. It was a plane that crashed and fell, causing some casualties. According to the genetic data extracted at the scene, the police obtained a death list. In the list, apart from several CIA agents and a CIA team leader, there was also a doctor named Leonid Pavor. He's a top PhD in physics and a former professor at Columbia University in the Met. In addition, there is also the body of a strange man, whose information cannot be confirmed for the time being. But what is certain is that this plane crash was not an accident, but man-made. Because the police found bullets from those bodies. Autopsy experts determined that most of them died of gunshots before the plane landed. So, it's clearly a murder. But the police department in Gotham City has not made any progress because there is too little information. Gotham City Police Chief Gordon said on TV that they will investigate the brother as soon as possible and then arrest him. But everyone knows that this case is not so easy to solve. You know, since the Dante Act was implemented in Gotham, it has been a long time since such a bad thing happened in Gotham. The death of several CIA agents and a team leader is no small matter. What do you think of the accident? Shu Hong looked at the Penguin sitting beside him, and asked with a smile. Penguin pondered for a moment, seeking truth from facts. "I haven't received any news for the time being, and I can't judge who did it." "I know who did it." Shu Hong laughed. Penguin was not surprised. Since Shu Hong revived his parents, in his opinion, there was nothing that Shu Hong could not do. He never doubted Shu Hong's words. And what amazing things Shu Hong did was normal to him, so there was no need to be surprised. "Get your guys ready, a guy named Bane is going to mess around in Gotham, though I'm not a nosy guy. But what he does next will affect my business, so I don't intend to let him do what he wants." Shu Hong is already planning to set foot in the energy industry. He sent an appointment notice to Fox, the current executive president of Wayne Group, yesterday. The other party has agreed to meet with him this afternoon. At that time, we will talk about energy issues. In the movie, Bain ransacked the Pacific Stock Exchange, which not only led to the bankruptcy of Bruce Wayne, but also caused the devaluation of the dollar. If he was allowed to do so, Shu Hong would also be influenced by him. You must know that the system does not recycle US $1, Instead, it is differentiated according to the purchasing power of the dollar in the current world. To put it simply, if the US dollar depreciates, then the money earned by Shu Hong, originally 1 return, will become 2 return. Shu Hong withdraws $2, and his system account will only have $1 more. This is not what Shu Hong wants to see. So he has to take care of Bane. "Bane, I didn't expect that guy to come to Gotham." Penguin nodded upon hearing this. Bane, the Penguin had heard about him. A guy who grew up in prison. As a survivor of a virus experiment, he has gained a much stronger body than ordinary people. But at the same time, he also needs to wear a mask to breathe all the time, otherwise he will be very painful. It is rumored that he once learned fighting from Lei Xiaogu, the leader of the Assassin Alliance. Possesses extremely strong fighting power. Is a difficult person to deal with. But the penguin believes that in front of Shu Hong, difficult people will become easier. I will order this matter and let my subordinates prepare it, but it is specific. You just need to pay attention to tell him not to affect our business. As for the specific person to deal with him, I have already selected someone. In the afternoon, Shu Hong came to the Wayne Group building alone. He didn't take Selena and Lillian because they went shopping. As a woman, it's normal to like to go shopping. And business cooperation is very boring, so they simply didn't follow. The entrance of the Wayne Group building. As soon as Shu Hong got out of the car, he saw Fox, who greeted him at the door. Fox was very polite. When he saw Shu Hong, he greeted him with a smile all over his face. He warmly shook hands with Shu Hong. Mr. Shu, you are very welcome to Wayne Group. You are welcome, Mr. Fox. Please come with me. Soon, the two came to Fox's president's office in the building. After asking the secretary to serve them 2 cups of coffee, they were soon alone in the room. Mr. Shu, I already know the purpose of your visit. You have a very comprehensive cold fusion application technology in your hands. With this technology, it stands to reason that you should not need to cooperate with our Wayne Group at all. Fox asked himself, puzzled. Yes, but the Wayne Group has preparations for this. As long as you get my technology, you can put it into use immediately. And if I do it myself, I still need to spend at least a year to decorate, but I don't want to wait. To tell you the truth, I'm actually not good at this, and you have a better choice, that is Ms. Miranda Tate. She has been working on clean energy research to change Gotham appearance. Let her become more clean. If you cooperate with her, maybe it will be better than working with me. Fox suggested. It's not that he doesn't want to take the order. It's that he really doesn't have much energy to manage things. He is over 60 years old, not young anymore. Bruce Wayne handed over the entire group to him, and he was tired of being a hands-off shopkeeper and hiding by himself. And for the research and development of Batman equipment, he has never stopped. Because Gotham needs Batman, a lot of black technology equipment in the hands of Bruce Wayne came from him. He is a man in his 60s, and his energy is not comparable to that of a young man. As for pushing Shu Hong to Miranda Tate, Miranda is one of the directors of the Wayne Group. The Tate Group and the Wayne Group in her hands have a lot of cooperation. With the cooperation of Shu Hong and Miranda, Wayne Group can at least have a drink of soup. The energy industry has always been a big market, and once you control this market, the profits will be huge. Even just a sip of soup is enough for the Wayne Group. Working with her is certainly a good choice, but I'm a businessman. Shu Hong laughed. Working with Miranda Tate, Shu Hong didn't even think about it. Because Fox doesn't know, Miranda Tate is not her real name. Talia is her original name. This is the name her mother gave her before she died. For future events, Miranda is the real leader, and Bane is her leader on the bright side. Shu Hong would be stupid to work with Miranda Tate. Besides, even if Miranda Tate doesn't do anything, Shu Hong will not be able to get rewards in a short time if he cooperates with her. Working with the Wayne Group, Shu Hong can quickly reap the rewards. Anyone with a little brain knows how to choose. As for whether to deal with Miranda Tate, Shu Hong decided to leave the matter to Batman to choose. Okay, Fox didn't persuade. After all, the collaboration with Shu Hong is really a good opportunity for Wayne Group to make money. Because of Bruce Wayne, the Wayne Group invested a lot of money in the research of controllable nuclear fusion. So much so that the Wayne Group is now a little short of money, and even the previous donations to some orphanages have stopped in recent years. In cooperation with Shu Hong, their research on controllable nuclear fusion technology does not need to continue. After getting the complete technology from Shu Hong, a batch of funds can be withdrawn immediately. To ease the current pressure on the Wayne Group, such cooperation, Fox has no reason to refuse. I came here this time, and I brought some things, and I need you, Mr. Fox, to hand them over to someone for me. Fox looked at Shu Hong suspiciously. Shu Hong put a file bag and a blue potion in front of Fox. Gotham can't do without Batman. After speaking, Shu Hong turned and left the office directly. As for cold fusion technology, after the cooperation contract between the two parties is signed, Shu Hong will ask people to hand over the technology to Wayne Group. Fox didn't stop Shu Hong, but watched Shu Hong leave. Shu Hong's words just now hinted very clearly. Apparently, one more person in the world knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. And the two things that Shu Hong took out were obviously for him to help pass to Bruce Wayne. At the same time, it is certain that Shu Hong knows many things. As for the channel through which the other party knew, this is unknown. After a while, Fox opened the file bag left by Shu Hong and took out the contents. After reading the information taken out of the file bag, Fox couldn't sit still. He called his secretary directly and asked him to arrange a car. He's going to Wayne Manor, see Bruce Wayne. If what Shu Hong gave was okay, he felt that Bruce Wayne would return to the rivers and lakes, and would not be so decadent anymore. He'd talked to Bruce Wayne before, too, but to no avail. As for the information he is holding now, he only needs to hand it over to Bruce Wayne. From what he knew of him, he didn't have to say anything and Bruce Wayne would pull himself together. Because he loves Gotham more than anyone else. Wayne Estate. Alfred pushes away from Bruce Wayne's room. Carrying a food in his hand, it was Bruce Wayne's lunch. Bruce Wayne hadn't been out of the room since that incident a few years ago. You don't need to do this, you should ask the maid to come. A slightly hoarse voice sounded. It was none other than Bruce Wayne who spoke. His hair was greasy and messy, and it was obvious that he hadn't washed it for a long time. If you get close, you can still smell the smell of sweat on his body. His beard is already very thick, and it's time to cut it. Seeing Bruce Wayne like this, Alfred was also very helpless. Because he tried to persuade Bruce Wayne many times, but it didn't work. He is still like this. Before you say this, maybe you should take a shower and wash your head. Your body already smells, and the room is also filled with the smell of your body. I don't want it to go viral that Bruce Wayne is a billionaire who doesn't like showers, Alfred said. Bruce Wayne didn't speak. His silence was his response to Alfred. Alfred was helpless. He's always like this. No matter what he says, when he doesn't know what to say, he responds with silence. Master, it's been a few years, you should really let go of the past and start your new life. You should go find your true love, instead of locking yourself in your room like you are now, making yourself look like a tramp Chinese. Every year I go on vacation to Florence and have a cafe on the banks of the Arno. I would sit there every night and order a Fernet Blanca. I always fantasize when I look at other tables. I'll see you sitting there with your wife and maybe a couple of kids. We don't need to communicate, but I will know that you have found a new life. Live your happy life. Instead of going back to Gotham and locking myself in the house all day like I'm doing now. Bruce Wayne grew silent, but just when he was about to say something, the door was suddenly pushed open from the outside. The sudden opening of the door caught both Bruce Wayne and Alfred for a moment. The two subconsciously looked in the direction of the door. I saw Fox coming in from the door. Oh, Alfred, when did you come back? You didn't tell me this, old friend. You can come to my place when you have time. Fox said with a smile. He could definitely sense that something was wrong in the room. But he doesn't care about that. Because he believes that after today, Batman will return to Gotham, and Bruce Wayne will return to the Wayne Group. Both Bruce Wayne and Alfred were a little surprised by Fox's sudden visit. Because Fox rarely came to the Wayne estate. Fox, why are you here? It was Bruce Wayne who asked. Because he knew Fox's character well, if there was nothing wrong, it was impossible for him to come to this place to find him. Alfred also looked at Fox with doubts in his eyes. Fox was one of the few who knew Bruce Wayne was Batman. Like him, one of the few people Bruce Wayne could trust completely. Someone dragged me with something, so I brought it to you. As Fox said, he took out all the things that Shu Hong had given him before. Put it on the side table. Who is it that dragged you to bring me something? Bruce Wayne was a little puzzled. He didn't have many friends, so who would ask Fox to help him bring things to him? If it's his friend, you can come to see him by yourself. Xu Hong, the boss of Miracle Group, I think he will be no stranger to him even if you lock yourself in the house. He has completely stepped on your limelight recently. Bruce Wayne gave a wry smile. But at the same time, the figure of Shu Hong appeared in his mind. The two had seen each other, and had even looked at each other. At that time, he felt that Shu Hong was not a simple person, but he didn't expect that the other party asked Fox to bring him something just one day later. The two had only met once, and were not considered friends. So why did the other party ask Fox to hand over things to him? Also, why did Fox meet with Shu Hong? How did you guys meet? I just met today. You may not know that Miracle Group has already started to get involved in the energy industry, and their progress is faster than ours. They have fully mastered the controllable cold nuclear fusion technology, which is the kind that can be put into use directly. Just today, I have verbally agreed to cooperate with Miracle Group. The specific contract is already being simulated. Maybe 2 days later the Wayne Group and the Miracle Group will sign a formal contract. If possible, I hope that you can personally come forward for the signing of this contract. Fox said. Bruce Wayne looked surprised. The technology of controllable cold nuclear fusion has been researched so quickly. You must know that the Wayne Group started research on controllable nuclear fusion technology under his instruction a few years ago. Although the current progress is good, it is still far from being put into use. But unexpectedly, someone has successfully developed controllable cold nuclear fusion technology. Controllable nuclear fusion technology and controllable cold fusion technology are not the same concept. The latter devises techniques that are more difficult and harder to implement. It was hard not to surprise him. Don't rush to refuse, you can take a look at what I brought first. Gotham needs Batman. That's it. I still have things to deal with. Now I am in charge of the group alone. I am an elderly man, very tired. After finishing speaking, Fox did not give Bruce Wayne a chance to speak. He left the room directly. Watching the back of Fox leaving, Bruce Wayne didn't say anything. But he could clearly see that Fox was older than he had been a few years ago. He was thinking about whether it was right or wrong for him to just throw the group to Fox for a few years. When Bruce Wayne was wondering if he was right or wrong, Alfred had already picked up the file bag, opened it, and took out the contents. As for the blue medicine next to him, he ignored it. As time passed, his complexion also became ugly. Master Wayne, perhaps you should really look at these things. Alfred had a look of helplessness on his face. Helpless, because of Miranda Tate. Miranda Tate is one of the board members of Wayne Group, and he is no stranger to her. In fact, he was actually trying to set her up with Bruce Wayne. Miranda Tate, young, beautiful, capable, and kind, is a perfect match for Bruce Wayne. But that's the image Miranda Tate gave him before. And after reading the stack of materials, Miranda Tate's good image in his heart has completely collapsed. At the same time, he's kind of thankful he hasn't introduced Miranda Tate to Bruce Wayne yet. Bruce Wayne was a little puzzled. But he still walked forward, picked up the stack of documents and looked at it. The data contained the names of Miranda Tate, Bane, and some of the people who worked with them. And what they're going to do next in Gotham City. After reading these materials, Bruce Wayne was dumbfounded. He didn't expect that Miranda Tate's real name was Talia al Ghul, the daughter of his master, the leader of the League of Assassins. He is very familiar with the League of Assassins, that is a bunch of lunatics. Originally thought that after leaving that place, there would be no interaction between him and them. I didn't expect the trouble to be found so quickly. Those guys actually set their sights on Gotham, and they also set their sights on the controlled nuclear fusion technology being researched by the Wayne Group, intending to use the controlled nuclear fusion technology to create a super bomb to blow up Gotham. I have to say, those guys are still as crazy as he remembered. As for the authenticity of these materials, it is not difficult for him to confirm whether the information is true or not. If someone from the League of Assassins is really going to do something to Gotham, then Gotham needs him. Then, he looked at the blue jar of serum on the table. It was a potion called Super Soldier Serum. According to the information, after injecting this thing, the person who injects it will gain endurance, strength, speed, and resilience beyond the limit of the human body. To be honest, Bruce Wayne didn't believe it at first glance when he saw the introduction in the information. But he's no stranger to Miracle Medicine's products. He locked himself in his room, not really paying attention to anything. Occasionally he would watch TV, watch the news or something. Otherwise, he couldn't always sit there alone in a daze for a few years. Trance is the norm, but not a solid state. Among other things, if the quick recovery spray is as miraculous as it says on TV, then it's not impossible for Miracle Medicine to produce something like a Super Soldier Serum. Looking at the Super Soldier Serum, he looked at his injured leg. He glanced at the information next to him again. Perhaps, as Fox said, Gotham needs Batman. He can't continue to be decadent. And Alfred on the side watched all this silently, with a smile on his face. Because he knew that the Bruce Wayne he knew was back. Although I don't know if Batman's reappearance in Gotham is a good thing or a bad thing. But Bruce Wayne is no longer locked in a room, but out in public, and that's good news for him. Alfred, is my car curry still available? I think I need to go to the hospital. There should be more, Alfred said. Newtown area. Jim Gordon parked the car in his garage, then opened the door and got out of the car. Because of the implementation of the Dante Act, the number of criminal cases in Gotham has been greatly reduced, and the workload has also been greatly reduced. So that he can go home early. Because there is no work to do, sitting in the bureau is just a daze. Instead of being in a daze at the bureau, he might as well get off work early and go home to spend time with his family. He has been busy with work these years, and he really hasn't spent much time with his family. As a husband and a father, he seems a bit irresponsible. Just opened the door and got out of the car. His footsteps stopped immediately, and the whole person stood in place. Because he saw a figure that surprised him. You disappeared for a long time, I thought you wouldn't show up again. Looking at the black figure standing in the shadows, Gordon said aloud. Gotham needs me, so I'm back. A thick and hoarse voice sounded. A black figure stepped out, wearing a black armor and a bat mask. In Gotham, there's only one person who dresses like this, and that's Batman. I came to you this time because I need your help. Gordon looked puzzled. Batman didn't keep him wondering for long. Because he directly took out the stack of documents Shu Hong gave and handed it to Gordon. The latter took the information and read it directly. The more he looked, the more ugly his face became. After a moment, he looks back at Batman. Is the information credible? I've confirmed it, and the information is credible. Bane, Miranda Tate, I will do it myself. Stryver and John Daggett will leave it to you. That's enough evidence for you to arrest them and send them to jail. It's really troublesome. Gordon was a little helpless. He was clearly preparing to spend time with his family, but in the end, someone wanted to fix things in Gotham, and he was not given a chance at all. But sitting in this seat, he has to be responsible for the security of Gotham City, so there is nothing to complain about. By the way, you. Gordon looked up, only to find that the Batman had disappeared. Quote. Familiar taste, familiar formula. On the other side, Batman has already boarded his Batmobile. The super soldier serum presented by Shu Hong, he finally took it. Because he felt that Shu Hong had no reason to harm him. There was a big difference between the Batman in this world and the Batman in the superworld. Batman in the universe with Dachau is so vigilant that it is difficult to trust people after the loved ones around him are almost dead. Even if it is a partner of the Justice League, he doesn't trust anyone except Dachau. The Batman in this world is different. In terms of personality, the Batman in this world is more likely to trust others. Even if he has been deceived by many people. And he really couldn't think of any reason for Shu Hong to harm him. And he also roughly inferred the purpose of Shu Hong's gift of super soldier serum. It is nothing more than making him stronger than before. Let the law and order in Gotham be more stable. Bruce Wayne, who is the head of the Wayne Group, knows very well that a good law and order is indispensable for businessmen to make money. Perhaps, this is the purpose of Shu Hong gifting him the super soldier serum. But even if I feel that Shu Hong's purpose is this, he still planned to meet Shu Hong. Although the two have met. But this time, he went to meet Shu Hong as Batman. He wanted to see if he could get the answer he wanted to know from Shu Hong's mouth. At the same time, it is also a change of direction to tell Shu Hong that your goal has been achieved and Batman has returned to Gotham. Miracle Building. Shu Hong's office. Shu Hong is checking the product discount area of the system to see if there are any good things refreshed. His account balance has once again exceeded $100 billion. Shu Hong is in hesitation. Should he save the money, or spend it in the system? Buy new items to improve your strength. Suddenly the desktop in front of him lit up. Then a projection projected out. In the picture, a guy wearing a black battle armor and a bat helmet is climbing up the ventilation duct. After a while, he climbed to a ventilation exit. After confirming that no one was around, he jumped down the ventilation duct and entered the elevator. Seeing this scene, Shu Hong wanted to laugh a little. Infiltrated in secret. It is estimated that Bruce Wayne never imagined that Shu Hong's miracle building has a super artificial intelligence responsible for security work. This made his infiltration full of flaws. In fact, Bruce Wayne has a signal jammer on his body. But how could Shu Hong let White Queen have this loophole? So the signal jammer is actually useless to White Queen. So much so that Bruce Wayne's sneaking in now seems a little funny. Master, someone sneaked into the miracle building. Do I need to notify the security? No need. Shu Hong smiled and shook his head. The White Queen also stopped talking. Soon, the screen came to the door of Shu Hong's office. Shu Hong's office is on the top floor of the miracle building, where ordinary employees are not allowed to come up. So there are basically no people in the corridor. But Bruce Wayne did not go through the door, but chose to enter Shu Hong's office through the window. But when he entered Shu Hong's office through the window and saw the live broadcast in the hall, he was stunned. And Shu Hong was looking at him with a half smile. Bruce Wayne felt that it would be very uncomfortable for Shu Hong to hold back his laughter. As for the embarrassment, he was fearless wearing a mask. But soon he remembered that the guy in front of him seemed to know his true identity behind the mask. Bruce Wayne. Actually, I think it's okay to go through the door. Looking at the silent Bruce Wayne, Shu Hong said with a smile. Don't be speechless, his smile really doesn't mean to ridicule. And Bruce Wayne was directly silent. But Bruce Wayne's skin was thick enough, and after a while, he adjusted his emotions. I came here this time to thank you for the potion. It's very good. As long as you like it. In Shu Hong's opinion, the super soldier serum is very suitable for Batman. In terms of willpower, in Shu Hong's opinion, Steve may not be comparable to Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, who is injected with super soldier serum, will also become unprecedentedly powerful. After all, this is a world without superheroes. Batman was originally the most powerful in the world. After being blessed with super soldier serum and coupled with his smart brain, he will be the #1 in the world. Under his protection, Gotham will definitely not have too many troubles. And a Gotham with good security and stability is what Shu Hong wants to see. Because this means that Shu Hong can make good money. That's why he was willing to help Bruce Wayne. You are mysterious and dangerous. Batman spoke again. I'm just a businessman, and I'm not interested in many things. One is to be a beautiful woman, and the other is to make money and enjoy life. I have no interest in meeting some crazy people with extreme ideas. Gotham needs Batman, but not me. Bruce Wayne was silent. Finally, without saying anything, he turned around and jumped out of the window to leave. Because he already got the answer he wanted. As for Shu Hong giving him the super soldier serum in return, he has already prepared it for Shu Hong. I believe Shu Hong will be satisfied in the end. Bruce Wayne had just left. The projection of the White Queen appears. Master, I just received a distress signal from the sensor carried by the Mistress. The Mistress has been hijacked. The one called the Mistress by the White Queen is none other than Selina. After Selina officially established a relationship with Shu Hong, Shu Hong raised her authority in White Queen. At the same time, Shu Hong also gave her a sensor, and she only needs to press the sensor when she is in danger. The White Queen will know immediately that she is in danger, and then notify Shu Hong. Shu Hong frowned. Selina went out with Lillian early this morning, how could she be in danger? Who is following her? And with Selina and Lillian's skills, no one should be able to catch them easily. What's going on? As soon as Shu Hong's words fell, there was a projection. The frame is still and looks a bit like a photograph. And because the distance is relatively far, the picture is not very clear. But a tall, bald man wearing a mask could be vaguely seen. Bane. Seeing this person, Shu Hong immediately knew who attacked Selina and the others. Shu Hong was a little surprised, but also a little angry. He doesn't cause trouble, but that doesn't mean he's afraid of trouble. He didn't want to deal with Bane himself, because he didn't think it was necessary, just let Bruce Wayne deal with him. Unexpectedly, he didn't go to trouble them. Bane and the others came to trouble him instead. No need to think about it, it must be Miranda Tate who secretly gave this order to Bane. It was clear that Miranda had his eye on him. As for why, it is estimated that the news of his cooperation with Fox yesterday was leaked. After all, such a big project cooperation. Impossible to hide from below. It is estimated that most people in the Wayne Group know about it. And Miranda Tate serves as a member of the board of Wayne Group. Knowing this news is also inevitable. Shu Hong can provide complete cold fusion technology. If the League of Assassins can get it, then they can definitely make even more huge amounts of bombs. At that time, let alone Gotham, they can bomb wherever they want. It's normal to turn your head and stare at Shu Hong. And Shu Hong's weakness is obviously Selena. Selena's apparent identity is Shu Hong's secretary. However, it can be seen from the fact that Selena accompanied Shu Hong to the Dante Day banquet before, that the relationship between Selena and Shu Hong is not ordinary. Bane and the others made the right choice to start with Selena. But the only thing wrong with them is that they didn't fully understand Shu Hong, so they attacked Shu Hong. Because they don't even know how much trouble they have caused. Shu Hong was a little angry, but he still remained calm. The Red Queen was unable to track Selena's location. After all, Shu Hong hasn't launched her own satellite yet. Her current abilities are still very limited. Plus there are no cameras everywhere in the United States. Want to track down where Bane and the others have taken them. It's not easy. However, Shu Hong doesn't need the White Queen to track Selena and the others at all. Shu Hong can do it himself. Because he has Professor X's telepathy. Because he originally had the blessing of Green Titan Serum. Compared with Professor X's telepathy, his telepathy ability is much more powerful. As long as Shu Hong is willing, even without a brain-wave strengthening machine, he can instantly invade the brains of half of the Earth's people. To find out where Selena is, it is very simple for Shu Hong. Gotham sewers. Selena and Lillian were being driven forward by several big men holding weapons. Selena and Lillian did not resist because they were pointed at by the black gun. They are not stupid, can they pass the gun quickly? Especially when there is more than one gun. If there were only two of them, they might still have a chance to fight back. But more than a dozen men with guns stood around them. There is a Bane next to him. How can they resist in this situation? The smartest thing to do now is to wait for Shu Hong to rescue them. They believed that Shu Hong already knew about their arrest. As for Shu Hong's ability, she also believed in it. She believed that Shu Hong would definitely find them. Then come and save them. So neither she nor Lillian resisted, but followed honestly. Selena and Lillian didn't fight back, which surprised Bane. The past of Selena and Lillian is not difficult to find out, so Bane knows Selena and their previous identities. Knowing these two beautiful women is not a pretty vase. But roses with thorns, snakes in the night. It can hurt. I didn't expect these two people to be so honest now. But their honesty was good news for him, so although he was puzzled, he didn't care too much. He and his men carry signal jammers with them, even if Selena and the others have sensors hidden on them, they won't work. So there is no need to worry about being found. At least as far as common sense is concerned, this is the case. It's a pity that Bane has no idea what kind of existence they have provoked. Sewer. Miranda Tate has been waiting for a long time. Definitely, you can also call her Talia al Ghul. Because the plan changed, the target changed from Wayne Group to Shu Hong, and Talia naturally didn't need to continue to hide. Moreover, among this group of people, Talia's prestige is actually higher than that of Bane. Because Talia was the daughter of Lars al Ghul, leader of the League of Assassins. In terms of status, Talia is higher than Bane, and Bane is just Talia's Asgardian. To put it bluntly, Bane is just Talia's bodyguard. Definitely, for Talia, Bane is not just a bodyguard. Because she knew Bane before she was just called Talia without a surname, and Bane was not just a bodyguard to her. Actually, I don't think it's a good idea to change plans suddenly. Seeing Talia, Bane said. A sudden change of target was too hasty for them, and Bane, though long and muscular, was not simple-minded. On the contrary, he is actually a very smart guy. I know, but the new plan is more in line with our goals and the receipts are bigger. It means greater risk, but the benefits are also greater. If you want to get more benefits, you have to take greater risks. Talia said. While speaking, her eyes had already fallen on Selena and the two of them. As a woman, she had to admit that Selena was really tasty and charming. No wonder Shu Hong would bring her to the banquet before. As for whether they can successfully threaten Shu Hong with Selena, Talia felt that for a woman like Selena, no man would be willing to hurt her. She is a mature woman, and she is also very smart. In the upper class, she has met many rich people. If Shu Hong is a middle-aged rich man, she will consider whether it is useful to do so. But Shu Hong is very young. And being young means being energetic and impulsive in character, and it is easy to get hot-headed and do irrational things. She didn't believe that with a beautiful woman like Selena by her side, Shu Hong wouldn't be tempted. And as long as Shu Hong is attracted to Selena and cares about Selena, then their threats will be useful. When seeing Talia, both Selena and Lillian were a little surprised. I didn't expect that it would be Selena who kidnapped them. After all, this image in the outside world is a kind and rich woman. As female thieves, as long as they are rich, Selena and Lillian are no strangers. So they actually knew Selena. It's just that they didn't expect that the person who kidnapped them would be Talia. As for Selena, their expressions changed. Talia saw it all. She was not surprised that the two recognized her. In Gotham City, she was something of a celebrity. Anyone who paid a little attention to the upper class would be no stranger to her. Matthew, Daniel, the two of you take good care of them, and satisfy them whatever they want, but you must take good care of them, understand? The two who were called nodded. Then, Talia looked at Selena and the two of them. Two beautiful ladies, I don't want to hurt you. After all, you are so beautiful. I really can't bear to hurt you, so please cooperate with us. I can guarantee that you will be safe after the matter is over. Leave here. But if you don't cooperate, then I won't be able to guarantee your safety. Selena and Lillian just looked at Talia and didn't answer. Talia saw that the two did not respond to her intentions, and her expression was not very nervous, her eyebrows frowned slightly. I always feel that there is something tricky between the two. But things have been done, even if it is too late to regret now. Now we can only take one step at a time. Waved. Let someone take the two of them down. She walked over to Bane. Wait until Selena and the others are taken away. She took out a cell phone and dialed a number. Miracle Building. After learning that Selena and the others were captured by Bane, Shu Hong was not in a hurry. Because he knew that as long as the other party's goal was not achieved, Selena and the others would not be in danger for the time being. He then used telepathy to confirm the location of the two. Knowing that they are safe, he was not in a hurry to save people. In fact, with his ability, he can save Selena and the others even in the office. Using telepathy to directly destroy the brains of all of Bane and them, Shu Hong can directly kill them spiritually. Let them directly turn into vegetative people, and they are still vegetative people who will never wake up. It is no different from being dead. But Selena and the others were kidnapped, which is undoubtedly a provocation to Shu Hong. Some people do one, it is inevitable that someone will do two. What happened to Bane and the others is tantamount to setting a bad example for others. If Shu Hong let this matter pass easily, then in the future, there might be problems with the people around him. In fact, as long as Shu Hong gave Selena a super soldier serum before, it would not be the case now. But Selena has only been with Shu Hong for 2 days. Shu Hong had been busy with other things before, and hadn't had time to give her the super soldier serum. In addition, Shu Hong felt that there should be no one who dared to stare at him without thinking. After all, Penguin, the underground king of Gotham, is now his younger brother. Ding ding ding. The phone on the desk rang. Shu Hong picked up the phone. Caller ID is a strange call. Shu Hong didn't even need to think about who was calling. He didn't have any hesitation, and just clicked through. I'm Shu Hong. Hello, Mr. Shu, you can call me Bane, but now I want to tell you a bad news. Your two secretaries, Miss Selena and Miss Lillian, are now in my hands. Bane, please put Talia on the phone. Bane on the other end of the phone froze for a moment. He looked at Talia beside him in astonishment. Shu Hong called Talia's name accurately, which was really unexpected. What's going on? The current Nokia mobile phone does not have the function of sending out the mobile phone. So Talia didn't hear Shu Hong's words on the other side of the phone. The change in Bane's expression made her a little puzzled. That guy knows you exist. Bane said with an ugly face. He said it was wrong. How did Shu Hong know of Talia's existence? even if Talia instigated this matter. But he was the one who executed it, and Talia never met her from the beginning to the end. So how did Shu Hong know Talia? Talia froze for a moment. Then took the phone from Bain. Mr. Shu, I don't know how you know about me, and I don't care about it, but Miss Selena and Miss Lillian are in my hands. Whether they are safe or not depends on you. This is already a clear threat. Shu Hong knew of her existence, which gave her a bad premonition. So she didn't intend to talk nonsense, and just pointed out the topic directly. They're safe and I'm not worried about their safety. It was you who offended me. I didn't intend to intervene in your affairs and let Batman play with you, but since you want me to join the game, then I will do what you wish and have fun with you. After finishing speaking, Shu Hong hung up the phone directly. Talia was not given a chance to speak at all. Talia was stunned, and so was Bain. Not only did things not unfold according to their expectations, but they were completely out of their control. But it didn't take long for Talia to come back to her senses. She remembered what Shu Hong had just said on the other end of the phone. She ran directly in the direction where Matthew and the others had just left. Gotham's sewers have already been figured out by them. They even built a cell in the sewers to hold people. The place where Matthew and the others left just now is where the prison is. Seeing Talia's eager look, Bain immediately followed. Wait until the two lead people to the cell. People fell on the ground outside the cell. Matthew and Daniel all fell to the ground. Selena and Lillian were gone. Matthew, Daniel, Talia's face was ugly. Bain went straight up to check their situation. There is still breathing, and there is still heartbeat. Bain shook them directly, but didn't wake them up. Seeing that shaking was useless, Bain slapped the face directly. Snapped. Bain's powers are no joke. Although this slap did not use all its strength was almost equivalent to that of an ordinary person. Matthew's left face swelled up immediately after being slapped on the face by him. But Matthew still didn't move at all. Didn't even lift an eyelid. Bain frowned. It's a slap on the other side. This time the force was stronger, and Matthew's right cheek was also swollen high. But Matthew still didn't move. Bain frowned. Throw Matthew aside. Pulling Daniel's clothes, he was lifted up, and he slapped his face. Daniel's face immediately swelled up. But like Matthew, even if his face was swollen up high, he didn't make any movement either. It felt as if I had fallen asleep and couldn't wake up no matter how I screamed. Neither Bain nor Talia are stupid. Understand that they are not really asleep. Obviously, something happened to them that they didn't know about. Talia was combining what Shu Hong said on the phone just now, and she understood that they might have gotten into big trouble. This time, we may really be in big trouble. Talia had just finished speaking. A group of men behind them suddenly collapsed bizarrely. But if they have enough hearing, they can hear subtle tearing air sounds. Puff puff. With one person down, Bain and Talia immediately noticed something was wrong. Bain immediately put Talia behind him. But after finishing off their men, nothing flew out of the darkness. A moment later, a figure wearing a bat helmet stepped out of the darkness. It was none other than Batman. Definitely, he didn't come alone. Behind him, followed the Gotham Heads-Up leader, Chief Jim Gordon, and a group of his men. Your trouble has come. Batman's classic hoarse voice sounded. Talia didn't expect Shu Hong's revenge so quickly. What Shu Hong said on the phone before made it clear that he knew Batman. I didn't expect Batman, the Night King of Gotham, to appear so soon. The shadow of a bright tree of people. As soon as this guy came, he eliminated more than a dozen of her subordinates. She also brought a large group of policemen, and the situation between her and Bain was not good at once. Miss Miranda Tate, I really didn't expect you to be from the League of Assassins. It was Gordon who spoke. He knew Talia. After all, this is Gotham's famous philanthropic rich woman. But who would have thought that her real identity was the daughter of the leader of the Assassin League? No wonder she is so young to be a member of the board of directors of Wayne Group. I'll cover you to leave. Bain glanced at Talia behind him and said. After speaking, he planned to rush towards Batman and the others. He is a fearless man because he has no fear of death. No, but Talia grabbed him. Don't resist. Talia looked at Bain. Shook his head. Talia is smart, because she knew that if they resisted, they might die. But if they are only caught and tried, their final result is nothing more than being put in prison. But prisons cannot hold them. This is called retreating. The only problem is Shu Hong. Shu Hong had said on the phone that he was going to play with them in person. And obviously Shu Hong's target is not only her and Bane, but also the entire Assassin League. This is the real big trouble. Among other things, the situation of Matthew and the others was Shu Hong's method. And they still haven't figured out how Shu Hong did it. How Selena and Lillian Shu Hong were rescued. Shu Hong's methods shocked her. But now is not the time to think about Shu Hong. After all, the current situation is not good for them. Bane listened to Talia very much. So after Talia grabbed him, he gave up resisting. He is not afraid of death, so how could he be afraid of being caught? Seeing that Talia and the two stopped resisting, Gordon waved. A group of police officers rushed towards the two of them. Leading the charge was a young police officer named John Bulaika. Is a young policeman who has just joined the police force. He is upright, courageous, and always vigilant. This made Gordon very optimistic about him, because he felt that he saw his youthful figure in the other party. And in fact it is. Bane's strong body is still very stressful. No one knows if he will suddenly explode. Therefore, the policemen who rushed forward flinched a little when they ran up to Bane. In the end, John Bulaika rushed to the front and walked in front of Bane. He took out the silver handcuffs and handcuffed them to Bane's hands. The latter was looking at him fiercely. But John Bulaika is not cowardly at all. Instead, look at the latter. See, Bane has been copied by John Black. His colleagues immediately stepped forward and handcuffed Talia as well. More policemen pulled up the gangsters who had been paralyzed by Batman and took them away in handcuffs. Fortunately, Gordon brought a lot of people with him this time. Otherwise, they really couldn't take so many people away. After all, more than a dozen adults have passed out. No two policemen really can't get out. This is the sewer, and there is still a long way to go out. Seeing John Bulaika's performance, Gordon was very satisfied. He was about to ask Batman how his subordinates were doing, but when he turned his head, he found that Batman was no longer there. Gordon, Director, where's Batman? John Bulaika led Bane over. He has left first, Gordon said helplessly. He also wondered where the Batman had gone. That guy really left without saying hello. But now Bane and the others have been successfully arrested. The next thing waiting for them will be a trial, and there is really no need for Batman to stay here. Miracle Building. Shu Hong already knew that Bane and Talia were captured by Gordon and the others. With the ability of telepathy, for Shu Hong, anyone on the scene can be his eyes. At this moment, the door of the office was pushed open. It was Selena and Lillian who were back. Being arrested this time, Shu Hong once again refreshed his impression in their eyes. Because of Shu Hong's method, they were shocked again. It wasn't long before they were locked up in the sewer. Matthew then came to open the door for the two of them again. And everyone else passed out in an instant, and they didn't see Shu Hong appearing. After Matthew opened the cell door for them, he fell to the ground and passed out. Then Shu Hong's voice sounded in their brains, giving them directions and telling them where they could leave the fastest. Now I see Shu Hong sitting in the office again. What does this mean? This means that Shu Hong rescued them without ever leaving his office. Although Selena had great confidence in Shu Hong from the beginning, she knew that Shu Hong would definitely rescue them safely. But she never expected that Shu Hong would save them in this way. I'm sorry, because of me, you have been targeted, Shu Hong said softly when he saw the two of them coming back. Selena just gave Shu Hong a blank look. Then he walked to Shu Hong's side, pushed Shu Hong lightly, without saying anything, the whole person directly stuck to it. After more than a minute, Selena got up. Okay, I forgive you. Shu Hong smiled, but didn't say anything. Instead, he directly took out 2 super soldier serums. What happened this time made me realize that there are always lunatics in the world. In order that you will not be in today's situation in the future, I have prepared some good things for you. Selena picks up a super soldier serum. What is this? Super soldier serum, a serum that can make you stronger, and it can also keep you from aging and keep you young forever. Shu Hong said with a smile. What he bought from the system was the perfect version of the super soldier serum. Not only does this serum have no side effects, but it is also more powerful than the Captain America version in terms of strength improvement. In addition, it can also make people look younger. After explaining, Shu Hong stood up. There was also a syringe in his hand at the same time. Come on, let me give you the injection. Selena nodded. Standing in front of Shu Hong. She trusts Shu Hong a lot. Although the time they spent together was short, the time they spent together was not short. Shu Hong was her man again now, so why did she distrust Shu Hong? After being injected with the super soldier serum, Selena quickly felt the changes in her body. The strengthening process is very gentle without any discomfort. After all, it is a perfect version, and naturally it will not be as painful as the Captain America model. In the perfect version, even the transformation of strengthening is carried out very subtle and hidden, so that you will not feel pain. Then came Lillian. Wait until the two girls are completely remodeled. Already half an hour later. After the renovation. The two women soon discovered the change in themselves. They are stronger, and stronger in all directions. Strength, speed, endurance, reaction, spirit, even the skin has become better than before. If it is said that before, they still need cosmetics to do some maintenance work to maintain their skin condition. So now they no longer need cosmetics to maintain their skin condition. Even her already good figure has become more perfect. This made both women very happy. No woman would not like to become more beautiful, even if they are already very beautiful. But human beings' pursuit of beauty has never had an upper limit. Handsome people will spend time on dressing up to make themselves look more handsome. The same goes for pretty women. Honey, your gift is really great, I like it very much. Selena was very happy. Gave Shu Hong a night reward emote for you. Shu Hong smiled and said nothing. In a blink of an eye, another half-month passed. After Talia and Bane were captured. The law and order in Gotham is very good, and no bad incidents have occurred. The gangsters are also very honest, and they basically don't make any big disturbances. In most cases, it's just a small fight and it's over. After all, in Gotham now, not only the police force is stronger, but a stronger Batman has also returned to Gotham. If you dare to make any big noise, you will be thrown into prison immediately. The cooperation project between Miracle Group and Wayne Group was also finalized half a month ago. After the contract was signed, the specific cooperation has already started. The cooperation between the two parties is equivalent to dropping a bullet in the energy industry. Although many companies have been affected, even the price of oil has been greatly reduced. But for ordinary people, the cooperation between Miracle Group and Wayne Group has made their living costs lower. This is a good thing for the people. So even if the government was dissatisfied, there was nothing they could do about Shu Hong and the others. As Miracle Group's first month's revenue report came out, the whole Gotham, the whole world was shaken. Because Miracle Group's revenue in the first month was as high as $160 billion. The amount is frighteningly high. Even excluding Miracle Group's so-called $100 billion cost, its profit is more than $60 billion. This number is undoubtedly very exaggerated. You know, even Walmart, which is the top 500 in the world, only has a quarterly revenue of more than $140 billion. Miracle Group's monthly revenue exceeded this figure. In the new issue of the world's top 500 companies, the Miracle Group directly surpassed Walmart and became the number one in the world's top 500 companies. And Wayne Group also relies on the cooperation with Miracle Group. Last month's revenue reached more than $30 billion. Wayne Group, which had already dropped out of the top 100 of the world's top 500, immediately sprinted back to the top 100. Also entered the top 20. Definitely, Shu Hong didn't stop at making money. Shu Hong also didn't forget about the trouble with the Assassins League. The League of Assassins is not a small organization with many members scattered all over the world. So Shu Hong simply built a huge private prison by himself and let Penguin be the warden. Then he used the telepathy ability to get them to Gotham from other places. Then they were all packed into private prisons. Shu Hong didn't kill people directly. Because in Shu Hong's view, killing people directly is too cheap for them. Let them eat in prison, be made things difficult and tortured by people changing the law every day, and make them lose their freedom and be unable to do what they want. This is the real trial for them. Killing them directly is too cheap for them. Bane and Talia were also transferred to Shu Hong's private prison. For the safety of the private prison, Shu Hong also released more than a dozen tubes of Super Soldier Serum. Although the Super Soldier Serum is not cheap, it is nothing to Shu Hong now. Even if it is 10, it will not cost much. After the situation here stabilized, Shu Hong also planned to leave this world. Go to a new world. Even now there are more than 200 billion, nearly 300 billion US dollars in his system account. But there is still a long way to go before Shu Hong's goal of selling the Superman serum, the film version of Hunter Super, worth 3 trillion US dollars. Not to mention the Super Saiyan Bloodline and Limit Breaker. These are more expensive, so he needs to travel to more worlds and earn more money. As for after he leaves, the company will be managed by Selena. Shu Hong believes that Selena's ability can help him manage the company well. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.